Yeah. We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's the pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rougher. Step up for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beat, I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's up? 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 It's your boy BVO Boxing. Hold on one second. Let me get cammed up. My bad, y'all. Let me get cammed up. We're getting ready to see the legendary John Jones get ready to take his crown and defend it against Stipe. What's going on? I got a few brothers in the house with me. I got my man, my right-hand man, D Free. Always right-hand man in the house. Got my guy, Crush the Legend. And we got, Mr. Unreliable himself, Marky Dan. What's going on, y'all?
What's good?
What up?
What's happening?
How y'all feeling? I'm cammed all the way up now. Yeah.
Yellow.
What's going on? What's feeling, man?
Well, I was putting my son to sleep, nigga.
Salute to my man Piro, man, in the house. What's going on, brother? I don't know who you guys think gonna win this fight.
Yeah,
John Jones.
Man. John Jones.
Yeah. I was talking to my man, I was talking to my man Frilio earlier. My heart is gonna be in there with Stipe. Stipe is my guy. I've been watching him since I was a kid. He's probably gonna get violently stopped, but I just gotta go with my man tonight. I got to.
Yeah, I can't see nobody that. Yeah, I can't see nobody that had a 3-year layoff beat John Jones.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too, D Free. That 3-year layoff.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize he was still the heavyweight champion, but apparently he's still the heavyweight champion.
Well, yeah, he was somewhat put in recess, and the other guy, Alex. No, not Alex. It's another guy. I forgot his name. We were just talking about him earlier. He's the interim. He's the interim champion because he was going to be put in place to be the champion while John Jones was recovering from his injury. But now that John Jones is back as the actual champion.
That makes sense. But let me ask you guys this: is John Jones considered the greatest UFC fighter of all time?
Yes.
Most definitely. He's the only outside of the little disqualification, he's the only UFC fighter that beating everybody. This man.
Yeah.
I think there's only one other person, the Russian dude, right? that just retired because of his father passed away. But him and John Jones are the only undefeated fighter. And like I said, I don't count the disqualification for John Jones. But those are the only two guys that I know that was that pretty much ended their career undefeated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not only
Qualification.
not only that not only that, to add to what you're saying, D Free, not only was he undefeated for for all of his career, but for most of his fights were just dominant, one sided beatings from John Jones. So that's another thing in his belt. Not only that, I mean, moving up to heavyweight, he had a 3 4 year layoff. He was out the ring for a long time before he fought Cyril Gane, and he went in there and stopped him and choked him out in 3 minutes for the heavyweight championship. So no, it's not even no discussion. John Jones is him. Not only that, he did all this after testing positive for PEDs. Usually, what happens is you see a drop off after those dudes pop. We didn't see that from John Jones. He kept on business as usual, whooping ass, taking names. Whereas, and with
Yeah.
Khabib was dominant for a long time, but if he had fought for as long as John Jones did, you never know. He might have lost. He might have ran into that adversity like John Jones did with a Gustafsson, with a DC. But Habib, he got up out the game early, but it is what it is. But yeah, John Jones,
I
if
thought
you ask
John
me, he's my
Jones.
GOAT.
I thought John Jones popped positive for cocaine. He popped positive for Pez too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said it was like it was
Damn.
the first time he popped positive for PEDs, I'm not sure exactly what it was, but the second time they said it was a picogram. So yeah, I think that's his extended history with drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
that's that billionth of a gram shit. That picogram talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These dudes in a
He
combat sport where they beat people half to death for a living. It's that once that stuff get in your system, we know what time it is.
Yep.
yeah, but see
yeah.
Not
the
only
thing
that,
about
not only that, John Jones. One more thing, John Jones. And this is a confirmed story from John Jones himself. He hid underneath a cage in his gym for 8 hours to dodge a random drug test. This is something John Jones even confirmed out his own mouth. So yeah, there you go.
Wow.
yeah, because he was taking that recreational drug. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
That's
But
what he
see, the thing
claimed.
about John Jones though, we gotta remember he started fighting the UFC at like 19 years old, and he was smashing people from the age of 19 all the way up until now. And like Pride said, I mean like Marky Dan said, the man sat out of the ring for about 4 or 5 years and still came back and still was the most dominant UFC fighter in the sport. You John Jones is the type of fighter where you don't know how to train for him because you don't know what he's going to do. He can beat you standing on his
Facts.
feet. He can beat you on the ground. He can beat you on his back. He can beat you when you catch him with a good shot. You don't know how to train for John Jones.
Oh, facts.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I think John Jones though will go down as one of the greatest. I just think he's the only guy I've ever seen kind of become bigger than the PEDs because he did a lot of work after the PEDs. So
Yeah.
he's kind of like Canelo a little bit, where he beat him young, now he beating him old. So salute to my
And
man Johnny
think about
Jones.
this, BVO. Muhammad Ali came off his 3 year layoff and couldn't beat Joe Frazier. John Jones came off a 4 year layoff and made Cyril Gane look like nothing for that heavyweight
I don't
championship.
think Cyril. I don't know if Cyril Gane compares to Joe Frazier in his prime. I don't know with Eddie Futch at the helm, but I feel what you're saying.
Now the difference is like Joe Frazier, you only got to worry about him punching you. In mixed martial arts, you got to worry
Yep.
about kicks, elbows, body slams. You got to worry about a lot of different
Yep.
things. So you
John
got to you
Jones
got to keep
neutralized all that shit.
yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel in mixed martial arts. It's more that now mixed martial arts when they say boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical, mixed martial arts is 50-50. You have to be physical at 100% and you have to be mental at 100% because if any one of those is off, you might be going to sleep early. Any one of them off, you might be going to sleep early.
I gotta ask you this, D Free. What, in
Yep.
your opinion, what's a more difficult sport than MMA or boxing?
Oh, MMA is most difficult. It's definitely most difficult because, like I said, it's so many things that you got to worry about. with boxing, you only have to worry about the man punching you. You can neutralize individuals' punches. Where in mixed martial art, you can neutralize the punches, but then you got a kick coming at you, or you got him rushing you, taking you down to the ground. So it's so many different things that you got to worry about. It's definitely more difficult to be undefeated at mixed martial art than it is at at boxing. Like in mixed martial arts, that's why it's so impressive that John Jones and Khabib went undefeated as long as they did. Like I said, I don't count the disqualification, um, because the same way I didn't count the disqualification for Roy Jones, I don't count it for John Jones. It was a punch, and they disqualified him for the punch. They said it was an illegal elbow, which I find that crazy as hell. But anyway,
Yeah.
but for a person to go undefeated for so long in mixed martial art, that's almost unheard of. Like usually a guy that goes undefeated, they only had about 10 to 12 fights before they start taking losses.
Now, let me ask you this: was Anderson Silva ever once considered the greatest in MMA?
Oh,
Or
absolutely.
Yeah,
he
he
was?
was considered that,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but even when he was considered that, he had losses already. He
Mm-hmm.
was considered as one of the greatest, but he already had losses. Even Randy Couture was considered as one of the greatest, and he had losses. Chuck Liddell was considered as one of the greatest, and he had losses. Uh, Rampage Jackson was considered one of the greatest and had losses. So all these guys was considered as one of the greatest at some point in time in their career, but they all had losses and multiple losses, not just one, but multiple losses.
But
Now
that's because
let me ask
back
y'all
in the
this: who
day they
gave?
had to there was a lot of cross promotions. Like Silva before he came to the UFC, he was doing Pride, he was doing Extreme FC over there in Japan. They had their own stuff they were doing in Brazil. So it was a lot of mix and matching and promotions, and you'd be fighting a lot of different dudes like what's the name of the? I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he was a steroid junkie, and he went over to Japan from UFC to fight this big Japanese dude. It was a crazy fight.
You ain't talking about
Was it Victor Belfort?
It was a dude with the mustache. He had a mustache. Don Fry. Don Fry. That's what I'm thinking of.
oh yeah.
Has anybody almost beat John Jones?
Yeah.
The big white boy, the
Gustafson.
big
Yeah, Gustafson. Um. Anthony. Pet. What's his name?
It's only
The
a
Mexican.
couple.
Yeah, the Mexican boy. But that's only two. That's the
So you
only two I
giving
can think
Stipe
of.
a shot, or what you think? What y'all thinking?
Uh,
I don't know, man. When it comes to John Jones, man, I can't pick nobody over this dude. Basically, D3 covered all that. He's
Yeah.
amazing, man. In my opinion,
yeah.
it's hard to pick somebody over him or me try to get him like a fair chance of winning because this dude is just he dope, man. He dope. What more can I say? But we'll see, man. We'll see. But I never pick nobody over this dude, man. I can't. He's just one of
Yeah.
those guys I can't until somebody actually.
John
If
Jones
this was
and
a
John Jones in MMA is like Floyd Mayweather in boxing.
Yes, that's what I
You
was
ain't
thinking, D3.
you ain't betting against John Jones. If you do, it's because you hoping that lightning strikes that bottom. That's why you bet against him. That's all you hoping for because he's usually a heavy favorite. Usually, he's a heavy favorite.
Yeah, he's minus 600 tonight, and Stipe is plus 455.
yep.
So
Stipe
he's a
always
heavy.
been
So
an
he's a heavy.
underdog though.
So he's a heavy favorite.
Even when he was knocking motherfuckers out, Stipe was always an underdog.
Now I was. That's why I was asking y'all because I was thinking Stipe. He is one of the best in the sport. So I didn't know if y'all thought it was gonna be kind of
Yeah,
50-50.
yeah.
No,
Stipe is the heavyweight goat, but at the same time, he's been out for 3 years. So it's like
Yeah.
yeah,
we can't really get guaranteed what we're gonna see from him. If it was four or
yeah.
five years ago,
Especially
this would
against
be
John
definitely be an
Jones.
interesting fight. This would be probably the best fight in the sport.
Yeah, if the dude was active, see, it would probably be you would probably say, okay, this is more like a 50-50 fight or a 55-45 fight. But he's been away from the sport and he's older. He's older than John Jones as well. So not only have you been away, but you're the older fighter, and you're going against this guy who's older. He's not the same young John Jones, but he still has the same skills. Like his skills haven't deteriorated. His skills are still what it is.
He
So
ain't got to cut weight no more, D Free. That's another thing.
right, he ain't got to cut weight and none of that. So now you dealing with a much stronger a guy that is already was dangerous prior to him coming up to the heavyweight. Now he came up to heavyweight. He ain't got to worry about cutting weight, which could have been one of the reasons why he was taking PEDs, because I don't know what PEDs he was taking, but that could have been one of the reasons why he was taking PEDs to cut weight. So, I mean, now he ain't got to worry about that. You're dealing with a dangerous individual.
I know it's probably what y'all think about like just UFC in general? Like imagine a boxing, like the top, like somebody coming off a 3-year layoff in boxing and fighting the best. You know, we don't never see that. So I know UFC fans kind of lit because they get to see the heavyweight champ fight John Jones. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you what is going. I'm gonna tell you what's similar to that. The closest thing that we've seen to that as of recent is daggone Danny Garcia fighting against Laura. That's the closest thing we've seen to that. Danny Garcia came off a 2-year layoff and got in there with the champion Laura, who was knocking out everybody.
Yeah. And it didn't go well for Danny, so I guess that's what we foresight.
Right. It didn't go well for Danny, and Danny got dropped in that fight too.
Man, that was like, that was shocking, wasn't it? When he got hit, he kind of crumbled a little bit, like his body kind of like got stuck for a second.
That
was
wasn't
scary,
shocking
man.
to me because Laura been stopping shit before that fight, so I saw that coming from a mile away.
I had Laura in that fight too. It's just that it was tough to kind of see Danny go out that way, you know.
Really, after he got beat to death by Earl, it was over. It's been downhill ever since.
He ain't got beat to death by Earl though, BBO. It was you know what I'm saying? You could say he took a beating, but it wasn't to death. What Laura did, that was to death.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was awful. Angel got up on the ring apron and said, "Nah, we done." Wave it off.
Yeah. Big Dre
what
in the house.
Say, BBO?
Up, you said what?
I said I know you was about to say something.
Oh no, what I was saying was when it come to John Jones, it's almost like really nobody compare him to, but honestly Muhammad Ali, because I mean he might be the greatest in his sport, just like some say Ali is. I mean, I don't know. Only thing about John Jones is, man, the drugs for cutting weight. That stuff still kind of gets me a little bit. But it seemed like everybody forgave him for it, so I don't know.
BVO, you kind of shocking me right now, man. I would have thought you would have said George St. Pierre was the greatest of all time.
No,
you can say he is. Definitely.
He got
an argument too.
Cause GSP, that's another dude. He came off a 4-year layoff and won the middleweight, moved up and won the middleweight title. That's another dude you could put in there.
The reason I say that John is the best,
and he ain't got no P, and he never popped for nothing.
Hold on, we got some background. I hate this. There's one thing I hate about the new app. You can't just mute niggas on site. Look at my brother Bruce Gas. But no, what I was saying is the only thing about John Jones, he's been like Triple G. The way he dominated his opponents is like unreal. I mean, that's the part that always blows my mind with John Jones. I don't think you really seen anybody just dominate guys the way he has. But that's just my thing.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing I gotta give John Jones, because it's like you can name a bunch of other people who you say, you know what, they have a case for being one of the greatest to ever lace them up in the octagon, but all of those guys got multiple losses. John Jones is one of the few, and it's only, like I said, there's only two of them that at the end. I mean, Khabib, he already retired, but John Jones is still fighting. John Jones only has one loss, and that was a disqualification. And it's actually not even a loss; it's just a disqualification. So they're the only two that you say, okay, you know what, these guys. If John Jones keep doing what he's doing, these guys, the only two guys I know that fought in MMA and finished their careers undefeated.
Yeah.
You don't see that in MMA.
Khabib has something though where Khabib might have a case because he went from putting a guy into an arm bar to choking him out with his legs because he didn't want to embarrass him in front of his parents. So I don't know.
No, I seen John Jones beat a dude by a dude kicking him and breaking his own leg, and John Jones won the fight. The dude kicked John Jones and broke his own leg. The fight was over.
Well, I guess if he broke his own leg, his leg's still broken.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas?
No, I done seen John Jones win. I think I seen John Jones win by every single way you can possibly win a match.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's special, man. He's special. I wish he could have fought Brock Lesnar, but that's the only guy you can really say.
Man, I remember when John Jones choked out Lyoto Machida and had his limp body propped up against the cage. Then he just dropped him. Like that was that was one of the most nasty stoppages I've ever seen in my life. Like if the referee was not there, he would have took that man's life.
Maybe so. Let me ask you.
I pray for Stipe tonight, man. I pray for him and his family, BVO.
You guys think boxing is organized as UFC is?
What UFC is more unified. You could say that it's more centralized for the promoters. Because in boxing, a promoter can't have their own belt. There's no top ranked belt. There's no top ranked lightweight champion. You have sanctioning bodies. Whereas with MMA, they don't have that.
See, the thing with MMA that makes it so more organized is because not only is it only ran by one promotional company, it's also it goes according to the ranks. If you win, you move up. Whoever is number one, you're guaranteed to fight with the champion. It ain't no, the champion don't want to fight him or he's going to duck him and this and that. Dan would take the belt. He said, okay, you don't want to fight? All right, belt gone. We're going to put number 2 and number 3 in there. That's the thing about UFC. It's organized because you know who the champion is going to fight. You ain't got to worry about. It's not like they got multiple champions in the same division. No, it's one champion in the division. It ain't no more belts. If you want to be the champion, you got to beat him. If you don't beat him, you can't be champion.
Now let me say this. Let me ask y'all this. Have y'all heard anything about possibly with the Ring magazine or with Turkey, something about having one champion per division, kind of trying to get rid of the sanctioning bodies?
Yeah, I've heard about it, but
Yeah,
I don't know how much truth that's going to be because the sanctioning bodies have too much power right now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to do because Turkey doesn't have the pull in the boxing industry. He has pull with the promotional companies, but he doesn't have pull with the boxing industry. So it's going to be hard to get rid of the sanctioning body because that's how we declare who the champion is, by the sanctioning body. The sanctioning body runs the ranking systems and they runs their belts. So you got to get everybody on one accord to say, you know what? Okay, we're gonna do away with these sanctioning bodies. You got fighters who only know about the sanctioning bodies. They're gonna be like, nah, I can get a belt. I'm not getting rid of them if I can get a belt. I'm in line to get a belt right now. So now I gotta do away with the sanctioning body and then work my way back up to the top to get a belt again. So it's gonna be hard to get everybody on one accord. That's
All
why
right,
we
D
can't
Free,
get
hear
it
me
What
out.
I
together
Listen,
think,
again though.
hear me
what
out, D Free. Y'all hear me out. Listen, break this down. See what y'all break the holes in this right here. So I say, let's say Turkey. Let's give a flat fee to all four sanctions, right? All four major sanctions. Give them 100 million to get rid of their world champions, so they can't have no super champions, no regular champions, no franchise champions. What they're gonna do is we giving them this money to keep their organization in place so they can continue with their regional titles. So you can get ranked with like a USA belt or like a European belt within the sanction, but you cannot be a world champion. There's gonna be only the Ring magazine is gonna be the one world champion belt, but the sanctioning bodies will stay in place just to get the rankings. So, like for instance, the sanctioning body will put up somebody to fight the champion. So this whoever, so let's say the WBO put up Albert Bell. So like, okay, Albert Bell, he fought through our rankings. He's our intercontinental champion. We're gonna make him our mandatory for the ring. And then when the WBO come in line, then Albert Bell will fight the champion. You know, the champ. What y'all think about that? Kind of like a way to kind of cut out like all the world titles and regular titles.
It ain't
No,
gonna be it ain't. I'm gonna tell you the reason why it's not gonna be able to work because you said $100 million. You don't realize these sanctioning bodies get paid. They get paid from everybody who holds a belt. So let's say Tank Davis got a WBA belt. Canelo Alvarez got a WBA belt. And let's say they happen to fight a weekend apart. Canelo fights this weekend and Tank Davis fight next weekend. Canelo say he makes $40 million on his belt. And I mean in his fight. Tank Davis makes $30 million in his fight. They getting a piece of each one of those purses. And then so on and so forth. So for you have to come up with enough money to pay every sanctioning body for all of those belts. They get paid from every one of those belts that they have. The Intercontinental belt, the interim belt, the European belt, all of those belts that they have, they get paid from these fighters. That's how they collect money from these fighters without them having to be an actual world champion. They made all these smaller belts so they can collect money from these fighters to be in a ranking system, because at first they were just charging the fighters to be in the ranking system, but they wasn't fighting for anything. They were just fighting to get a higher rank. So now they came up with all these belts. So yeah, you in the ranking system and we charging you, but you have a belt. It's not the world championship belt, but it is a belt. And so you still moving up the rankings to become the world champion. It's just
yes,
too hard.
because you look
yeah.
at it like this, because
Uh,
you take all of the sanctioning fees, because they get paid from both sides. So they
Yup.
sanction the fight. Tank pays his 3%, and his opponent pays his 3% to that sanctioning
Yup.
body for that fight. And you take a Tank Davis fight where they might pull in, $90 million, 3%, 6% of $90 million is a lot of money. And that's just one fight. That's just one fight for
And
one belt.
I'm in agreement with y'all, but the concept would be is
The
Turkey or the
con-
ring, however they will put it together, they will be over top of the sanctioning. So that's why they will be getting paid out that lump sum is
uh,
because we're
yeah,
we're
but
gonna
see,
we're gonna own your company essentially, but you're
look
gonna
at
work for
this.
us. So we're gonna let you do the intercontinental belts, but
Hell no.
that's why essentially they get paid
no,
out.
I think Turkey's plan is much simpler than that, and I think we already see it in motion when you look at Beterbiev and because what you seen Beterbiev, he didn't do what we've seen the other undisputed champions in the past do, which is put all 4 belts on his arms and present it to the camera. No, he had that undisputed title. I think what Turkey is trying to do is he's trying to set up undisputed fights. Then he's planning to try and delegitimize the belts by having the champions cast those belts aside and then hold up his undisputed title. Because even if they get stripped of those belts, I mean, there's no real legitimacy to them. They didn't lose those belts in the ring. They didn't lose those belts because they were doing something wrong, like PEDs or whatever. So
Yes.
I think that's what I think that's more than likely what Turkey's plan is. Because I just think that's
Yeah,
simpler.
I mean, yeah, it just like it's going to be hard. I don't see none of these sanctioning bodies unless they was hard for money. I don't see none of these sanctioning bodies selling their company. They make too much money to sell their company. They like, nah, I'm not giving you my company for a couple of $100 million when I'm making that on a yearly basis. I'm making a couple of $100 million on a yearly basis.
Are they?
Why would I give you? No, if you look at all of the fights, we're not just talking about the fights that we see here in America. They got fights overseas that they have belts over there as well. They got belts over there. They getting paid for those belts too. They get paid from like Dre said. They get paid from both sides. So if it's like, let's say for instance, the fight the two persons generates, let's say, I'm not even going to say 90 million. Let's say it generates 45 million between the two persons, and they get 3% from each fighter. So they getting 6% off of that fight. And then they got another fight on that same card that is being sanctioned by them. They getting paid from them too. They get paid for anybody who's in the ranking system and is being sanctioned for their fight. They get paid by anybody that's in the ranking system.
And
It's
then
not
you
just title fights. They get paid for you being in the ranking system.
also got to realize that when you have one champion and one champion only, yes, it's one world champion, but everybody's not going to make world champion. But I can get that interim champion belt. I can get that silver belt. I can get that intercontinental belt. That's a belt that you hang on your wall that you have forever. Okay, so I mean, and if you eliminate all of those other belts, and I understand it's a lot of belts and it's a lot of stuff, a lot of wish wash around, but if you go to a single sanctioning body or a single champion, um, that's you eliminate 4 champions real fast. Oop, there you go, they're all gone. So no, it's it's beneficial to all of the sanctioning bodies.
But that'll make
And,
them
and,
that'll make
and
them fight somebody, Big Dre.
yeah,
Because
but
then we get Abel Ramos. I mean, it turned out to be a good fight, but come on, he was inactive. Had 6 losses. I don't think he deserved a title shot. So
he didn't deserve a title shot, but he finally got one. I don't think there are a lot of fighters out here who are just itching to get somewhere, and because promoters and managers don't see eye to eye, you don't get that fight. You well deserve it of a fight. I mean, look at Boots right now. Look at Boots right now. Boots got his title. He defended his title against Avanesia and said that he wanted to go for undisputed. And as soon as he said that, he didn't have 30 days after he made that voluntary defense against Avanesia that he was put into a mandatory against Karen. And then they put a purse bid date on it, which put him under the gun to make to have a contract signed for a unification bout before that purse bid contract date came up. Whether or not the purse was bid on or not. Once when they said, okay, we're gonna have this date, you gotta be prepared to have a signed contract before they put that date out there. And that's just one sanctioning body, and they make things. Right now the IBF is doing things real hard, and I can't see how Lomachenko still has his IBF belt, because he won that belt, and now he don't feel like it. And every other IBF champion is within 30 days has had a mandatory challenger. Every other one. They stripped Canelo. They stripped Crawford. They stripped. Who else did they strip? They stripped somebody else just recently.
Jamel.
Yeah, Jamel. Just because, okay, here's your mandatory. You need to fight your mandatory, and it need to be done by this date. And if you don't have a contract by this date, it goes to first bid. You go to bed, you get out the ring tonight, you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, and they shoving a contract down your throat before you can enjoy your winnings, before you can do your press tour. I mean, I think it's a little harsh. Give them 30 days before you. I mean, that way it gives them time. Take the Bivol fight. IBF was right there to strip them immediate. I mean, not that one, and the Usyk fight, Usyk Fury. IBF says, okay, you got to fight your mandatory right away, or we stripping you. And they took that belt before he could scratch his head and say, wait a minute, what just happened? I mean, so now Fury don't get a chance to go to in the rematch, don't get to be undisputed. And they just fought. Yeah. I think, it's my feeling, but it's their belt. So I mean, what I feel and what I think about it don't matter. But it's just hard to see a fighter, go out, win a belt, become undisputed, and you wake up in the morning and they tell you, here's the name of your mandatory challenge. Like, damn. Can I take a shower?
The problem with the sanctioning bodies, they greedy. So they know Turkey got a lot of money, and they're going to run up the price. They're going to run up the price. And this is not Turkey's money. This is the Prince money. He's just in charge of the sport entertainment. He's in charge of the sport entertainment. He's not the Prince. So he has to go back to the Prince and get the okay. Hey, well, they asking for this amount of money. Do I have the right to give them that money? So, and he's gonna have to do that with every sanctioning body, because when one sanctioning body see they got 300 million. Oh, I'm going for 400 million. The next one gonna go up. The next one gonna go until they get to the last one. The last one gonna be roughly about $1 billion. So it's gonna be hard, because these sanctioning bodies are greedy. They greedy. They want money. That's why they created so many belts, so they can keep getting paid from these fighters, even though they're not world champions.
But can't you kind of, keep them out of the sport in a sense if you don't put your fighters through their sanctioning body, if you don't pay their fees? Isn't that a way to kind of, separate them from the sport?
You can,
but the thing is, you got to get every fighter on board. That's the problem. You have to get every fighter on board with that. That's the reason why they don't have a union with the boxing industry, because you got to get every fighter on board. And a lot of these fighters, they say one thing, but they ain't gonna sit here and hold hands and join together, because if they was, they would have did it a long time ago.
Yeah, because I definitely thought
what about the
Floyd
fighters who don't make
and
a whole lot
Al
of
was
money?
gonna make a belt. I thought that was gonna happen for sure, but they never got it.
Yeah,
They never did it.
these guys are only worried about themselves. and they say, "Oh, well, if we get them out the way, then I can go ahead and be champion, and I ain't got to worry about fighting him because he ain't fighting. He fighting for Turkey." So that's the problem. You got to get all these fighters on board. It's too many obstacles that you got to jump in order to get to what you want, and it's just gonna take too long and too much money. And they're gonna be like, you know what? Forget it. Just let them do what they do, and we just put on the fights that we want to see.
Yeah, I feel you on that because I think that's kind of why Turkey is kind of trying to sign all the promoters in a sense, so that way he can make the fights that way. Because I think that's kind of really the
Yeah,
only way you can do it.
yeah. That right there, that'll probably be his best bet. Getting all of the promoters, trying to get the sanctioning bodies is going to be too difficult. If he can get all of the promoters on the same accord and say, "Hey, look, I'm paying all of y'all a certain amount. We're gonna be under the same umbrella. We're gonna make these fights that the fans want to see, that everybody want to see, that we believe is right. What the fighters are moving up in the division, they get the shot at the title, not jumping around and you picking this person, picking that person. No, we're gonna put the people that's in line to get the shot. If he can get them on board, then he got something where he can work with.
That's why he mad with Bob now. Shit, because Bob didn't step up to the plate with Oscar and Eddie.
Yeah.
Oscar said, "You gonna give me how much? Thank you very much." He was already in bed with Eddie, so um, he went to Bob. Bob says, "Damn it, you might be swinging a lot of money, but I got a room full of big old bags, because Bob
Hey,
been
I ain't
making
gonna
this
lie,
shit for a long
Golden
time."
Boy, Oscar Stable looking pretty decent right now. He got undisputed champion Gabby. He got unified Collazo. He got unified Ramirez. I mean, he looking pretty decent. I mean, Zepeda took a little hit today. That wasn't he got clipped, and I think he they might have to regress him now. Y'all
No,
think he can still go straight into the Shakur fight, or y'all will regress him? You think?
he's still
They ain't
he's
got no choice. It was a
fight.
eliminator for the WBC. They made it an
It was
eliminator. It
too.
ain't no choice now.
It was too. They should have gave that. They should have gave
Yeah.
that to Tevin. Tevin really won that fight. What y'all? Who y'all think Tevin wanted? Or what y'all think?
No, to be honest with you, I didn't even see it because I didn't even know that the daggone fight came on at 12 o'clock. I saw somebody put a video up. I was like, damn, I missed the fight. I had to go back and watch the highlights. I didn't even see the fight.
Damn, it was
That's
a
why
good
I
fight,
don't
man.
like it being in Saudi Arabia. That's why I don't like the fights being in Saudi Arabia. They come on too damn early. 12
Yeah,
o'clock in the afternoon.
12 o'clock
I ain't
on a
trying to see
Saturday.
that in no.
Wait a minute, I can watch Tennessee and Georgia, or I can watch Texas and Oklahoma, or I can watch boxing. Wait a minute, I'm a football fan as well. But wait a minute, UFC playing. They playing Texas. Shit,
You saying Turkey impeding on your time
I,
on your
I'm
Saturday
saying
slate?
I got overlap. And listen,
The thing is, with Turkey putting those fights in Saudi Arabia, it's going to make it hard for the fighters to join what he wants to do, and it's going to make it hard for the fans to stay interested in the fight because football is number one in the United States, and then every other sport you can pick whatever category you want to pick, what comes second, third, fourth, or whatever. But football comes first. You got NFL, and then you got college, and then everything else come behind those.
yeah. So
Yeah, pretty much.
NFL is bigger than soccer.
NFL is bigger than everything right now.
In
Football,
in in America,
Oh, in
yes,
America. Oh,
BBO.
okay, in America. Okay,
Yes, that's what DeFrilio is talking about. The
okay.
American sports
yeah, in
market, not the
America,
global sports
football,
market.
you got foot in America. NFL is number one. Then college is right behind it. Then you could put NBA or baseball behind that, however you want to do it. And then boxing is probably the last one on the list. Boxing is
Boxing,
probably the last one on
Yeah.
the list.
boxing right
And
now is number 14, 13, or something like that.
No,
that's
boxing
because of
is an
that
obscure
marination.
sport like monster truck driving or horse racing. It's like that. It's in that
No,
lane.
it's
So
above horse
when you
racing, but
that's what I'm saying. So when you putting those fights on in Saudi Arabia during football season at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, when you know you got Georgia, Alabama playing, you got LSU and Auburn playing, they be like, man, I'm not watching no boxing at 12 o'clock when I got these football games on. And a lot of these people got kids that go to those schools. They're gonna watch their kids play.
It's a fact.
Oh, that's a fact.
Hey, but let me
yeah,
ask you this, B3.
What's good?
Yo,
So we know my man B3's a racist. What did you think about Tevin Farmer dropping Zepeda?
He
I think
dropped
that was good for Tevin
Zapata?
Farmer.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
dropped
dropped
him
him.
for
He dropped
sure.
him. Caught him with a flash knockdown. Zapata was coming in,
Wait.
and he
Hold
caught him
on.
with a straight.
Zapata fought today?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
fought
Yes,
early.
He caught him with a.
He got his ass
He caught him
whooped.
with a straight right as he was
Yeah,
coming in, and
Oh.
it was a he wasn't rocked or anything. It was a flash knockdown. It wasn't like he was rocked or anything,
yeah, he
but
got
But
right
yeah,
up
let
he
there.
let
did
that
drop
It
him.
was
let that
nice.
have been Devin Haney or Shakur.
Could have fooled me. I seen him get his ass whooped after that.
Let that have been Devin Haney or Shakur.
Cool.
Oh, they
I
chinny. They
mean,
ain't got no
whether
chin. Da 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 da.
D, for remember, you ain't watched the fight.
whether
You
you
only seen the highlights.
whether you believe he got his ass whooped, I saw that round and I saw he got knocked down and he got back up and he got right up and he went right back at him. It wasn't like he stayed away. He went right back at him.
You know what? If TF was a little bit younger, free, I actually got to watch that. TF would have beat him. He just was a little bit too old. But if TF
no,
was
I
the
think
same TF that was about 27, 28, he would have kicked his ass. I
How much
mean,
more you want him to
no.
do?
See, because
I
see,
what you mean?
mean,
Tevin don't have that.
he
He don't
hurt
have
him. He
enough
hit him with
power.
the biggest shots. He stood in the pocket with him. He didn't run.
Oh,
I
he had a great
mean,
fight. He had a great. What are you talking about?
bruh, I'm just
B3?
saying Zapata was projected to stop Tevin.
Man, Zepeda's a
Zapeda's
bum, dude. You know that,
31 and 0 with 27 knockouts, man.
bro. Zepeda's a bum,
He got pieced up by Tevin. Yeah, he's and
bro.
they
He
low key
another
robbed
white
Tevin.
Mexican that they found one low tide season.
Hey,
He probably used to work with
I'm
Juan
not gonna say
at the bodega. I
I'm
mean,
not
he's
gonna
a
say he a
bum.
bum. Not gonna say he a bum. I'm not gonna say he a bum because you can't find nobody that beat him. So if you say he a bum, everybody that he beat, they the bums because he beat them.
You got to remember,
So
you was calling
I'm not
Honey
gonna say
G
he
a
a
bum.
dog. I'm not gonna say that man is a bum because he has a decent power. He throws a lot of punches. The problem that I have because I know a lot of people looking at that and thinking, oh yeah, Shakur gonna get him. The problem that I have with that is Shakur doesn't fight the style that Tevin Farmer fights. That's the problem that I
That's a
have with
good.
that. Well, people thinking that Shakur is going to do something because of what Tevin Farmer do. Shakur doesn't fight that style.
You also got
Tevin looked terrific though. I don't know if you guys seen how he was ducking. I mean, like I said, he just didn't have enough power to stop him, but he was whooping Zepeda's ass.
he
Yeah, he
had enough
beat the shit
power.
out of Zapata. And I'm
He
gonna
had
say
enough
this too. I've
power.
been hearing that a lot, D Free, and I don't got Zapata running Shakur all around the ring. I think Shakur would stand there and fight Zapata. I think Shakur beat the shit out of Zapata.
Shakur
We'll see. We'll see in
Zapata's a
February.
tough
back
guy,
end problems.
but once Shakur start touching him, we see he ain't that sturdy. I
I
mean,
We'll see
mean,
in
Once
February.
Shakur get touched
Big
once,
Dre.
we gonna see what
Tevin
his
got like a
Hold
kryptonite
on one
20%
second. Hold on
knockout
one second.
ratio.
Let me host this real quick. Big Dre, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So now, knowing you, man, I know you seen a lot of TF. You know him from being from Philly. Were you surprised that he put on such a great performance?
No, I wasn't surprised that he put on a great performance. He put, and I won't, and I'm not going to go as far as call that performance great. He put on a very good performance. He did almost enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, he don't have enough power to keep Tevin Farmer from moving forward. He slowed him down about 9 or 10 times. Made him pause. Okay, whoa, that was pop. Okay, but bam, he's right back in it. Now with Shakur, I haven't seen Shakur stand in front of somebody like like that and fight in his last 3-4 fights.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think he stood in front of Valdez?
No, he didn't stand in front of Valdez.
Oh, okay.
He popped Valdez from the outside.
But Shakur don't need to stand in front of people to
Oh,
beat him.
hold on. Let
Oh,
him
my
finish,
bad,
Mark.
my
You don't
bad,
get your
brother. Go
time.
ahead, my bad.
Let him get it. Let him cook. Go ahead, cook.
Shakur is a range fighter. Okay, he want to keep you 2 inches from the end of his jab, so that when he can lean forward, pop, and when he step back out, he's taking a half a step back. Now you've got to move a foot and a half. You've got to move farther than he's
Mm-hmm.
moving. He's going to keep you in that range. Now, it may look like the Conceição fight. He kept Conceição at a perfect distance.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like he was just bang, 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 bang. And it looked like he was standing in front of him. But Shakur kept perfect distance. Like I said, he was probably, if he stuck his jab out, Conceição was about 2 inches off his end of his jab. So all he had to do was that half shuffle forward, bang, he hits you. He can take that second step, that full step to hit you with the other hand, and then he backs out. But his problem is he backs straight out. He don't use the angles. He don't
Mm-hmm.
get around. But now when he fought De Los Santos, he put De Los Santos at a full step outside of his jab. He
Mm-hmm.
would step in, pop, get the hell back out. His hand hurt.
Well, let me ask you this. Then I want to go to Mark on this. Let me ask you this. So basically, what you're saying is he's going to run. He's going to run from Zepeda.
No, he's not going to run from Zepeda. He can't run from Zepeda.
I mean, Zepeda tried to cut the ring off. It looked like TF was kicking his ass every time he tried to cut the ring off.
See, Tevin was while he was trying to invade, he
Mm-hmm.
was using more straight back tactics. Every time he turned around, he had his back against the ropes. He didn't take the angle. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
use his lateral movement. Okay, he would step back, and Zepeda's coming forward. And when he tried to take that side step, Zepeda was already on him. Now my back is touching the ropes.
Salute to my brother Teach.
It's kind of hard to take the angle when you take that half step back
What's good,
so that
Teach?
you can move and you feel that ring rope is right there. Where are you going?
Let me ask you this real quick,
It
Mark.
makes you stop and think.
Let me ask you this real quick, Mark, to kind of build on that. When you see TF turn the hands of time like that, does that make you think maybe Zepeda's a tad overrated?
You said when I see TF turn back the hands of time, I mean, no, I'm not gonna say Zepeda's overrated. I think I really can't judge it, BBO, because I didn't watch the fight.
Oh, you didn't watch it? Okay, my bad.
I'm really just going off of what y'all are saying. But I think when you talk about Shakur and Zepeda, I think Zepeda is tailor made for Shakur.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think that's a 12-0 type of fight. Like I really don't see that being any type of. I think that'd be a boring fight, to be honest.
That'll be
I'm going
that'll
to
be
tend to
one of those
disagree
fights
with
that
you there.
Tio. That's one of those fights that races Tio, like where dudes coming straight at him. He'd be perfectly made for him. But let me ask you this, Free. So you think TF is just as talented as Shakur?
No,
No.
I think Tevin Farmer has better lateral movement than Shakur, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he's just as talented as Shakur. Shakur is more defensive talented than Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer, he has better lateral movement. I think he has better footwork than Shakur. He's quick on his feet. Shakur is more so flat-footed at a lot of times. Like we give him credit for having good footwork. It's not about him having fast feet. It's about where he places his foot at. He has good footwork because of where he places his foot at, not because he has fast feet. So you can have good footwork and be flat-footed because you place your foot in the right position to get shots off and not get hit. But you also can have good footwork and have fast feet. So there's two types of having good footwork. But Shakur is more of a flat-footed type of fighter. He doesn't fight on his toes. He's more of a flat-footed, and he keeps the distance. He uses jab to keep the distance, and he pick his shots. He don't throw a lot of shots, but he'll pick his shots where he's going to throw it at, and he keeps his distance. So Tevin Farmer is more of a he's more a type of fighter like Devin Haney. He uses footwork to pivot and turn and give different angles. Shakur doesn't use it like that. He just places foot in certain spots where he can get a shot off and get out of range before you throw a shot back.
Yeah, let me ask you this real quick, B3, because
I gotta
you
put
know,
this out there.
let me ask you this real quick, B3. You know, you being usually most people say you're a racist, but let me ask you this. So when you seen TF, hold on one second. When you seen TF knock him down, were you surprised that TF didn't jump right on him? Because I know it was a flash knockdown, but Zepeda got up a little glassy eyed. Why didn't TF jump right on him?
Nah, man, you must didn't watch the fight. TF, he let his hands go. He hit him with some big shots after that, but you know, Tevin don't got no power. Shakur offensively is on a whole nother level than Tevin Farmer. So Shakur, when Shakur runs into Zepeda, Shakur's gonna run his hands and beat Zepeda half to death. So that's not even gonna be a competitive fight. But you know, that's just what it is. I mean, I think that's easy money for Shakur. Hopefully he can get his hands in order. Hopefully he can get a good surgery or something, or a metal plate or something put in his hand. Something.
But I thought he had
Uh
paper mache hands.
they
Wait a minute. Now, Shakur just went through surgery on both hands.
Mm-hmm.
So his hands are both surgically repaired. He tore a tendon in one, and he had something else with the other. And he went in and he had surgery on both hands. And now, the gloves are off, and he's walking around, and he's supposedly in the gym. I don't
they
know if
need
he's.
to hey Big Dre, they need to prescribe him some Ostrin.
Is he
He
is
gonna
he back sweeping up at the
he
bodega,
gonna
Dre?
need something else to go with them hands.
What'd you say?
I said, so you think he'll be back at the bodega sweeping up pretty soon?
I don't think he'll be back at the bodega, but um, my question is, when he gets in there in 8-ounce gloves, is he going to have the confidence to
Mm-hmm.
use the power that he has, or is he going to be a little gunshot? Then that's when we don't know. Because when you're in a gym in the 16-ounce glove, punching that heavy bag, and you got the gel pad, and you got the extra wrap, and they're looking out for you because you're in the gym. But when you go to that fight, you got that single layer wrap, um, and you've got um, the 8-ounce gloves. You are no longer. You don't have that third layer of protection. You don't have the gel padding in there because
Man, I know Oscar De La Hoya be mad as hell. He make that Shakur fight and Shakur run a marathon on Zepeda all around the ring, be running all around the
Hey,
ring.
salute to my man Teach coming in. Hey, Teach, let me ask you this real quick. Now, when you talk about a guy like Shakur, probably one of the most boring fighters in boxing, do you think he could put on a performance the same way TF just did? Because TF was very exciting. Could he even match that performance, Teach?
No, I don't think he's going to use the same strategy. Now with the Tevin Farmer fight, his strategy, and he said it, was to pretty much try and push Cepeda back, which kind of surprised me because I didn't think Tevin would fight that way. I think Tevin would have been like, you know, more well, he was slick, but trying to keep distance more. So that's the way that I thought he would fight. But I mean, this showed me that Tevin did work on his endurance a lot during his training camp, which was pretty good. So kudos to him with that.
You from the islands,
Um,
Teach?
huh?
You from the islands?
Yeah, yeah.
What island you from?
Antigua.
Oh wow. That's what's up, man. I didn't even know till I heard you talk. Like, God damn, you sound like Sugar Cane.
Yeah, so yeah, so that was the strategy for Tevin, which was it worked for him. So I don't think Shakur's gonna fight like that. No way. I don't think Shakur can take those punches that Zepeda was throwing at Tevin. But I do know Shakur's gonna fight smarter than that, and he's gonna fight the way that he usually fights. But the thing about Shakur, he has accurate counterpunching. So for a one-trick pony like Zepeda, Shakur's gonna catch him coming in some way. I'm
Yeah. You know,
100% sure.
he kind of got exposed. Teach. I didn't realize that all Zepeda do is come forward. You don't do anything
Yeah.
else.
So
You see
Zepeda's
what?
gonna come forward. Shakur's
Unlike
gonna catch him. Shakur's gonna keep good distance to make sure that Zepeda's not gonna be swarming him with punches, and he's just gonna win. It may be a boring fight, but I think it's gonna be an easy fight for Shakur. Oh, and
Hey,
to
Mark,
one more
you
thing.
see how my man Teach came in here speaking in his native tongue, man. You saw you be scared to do that. Shout
Yeah,
out to
one
my
more
man
thing.
Teach, man.
One more
Go
thing
ahead.
that I want to say. And to D Free when he said Shakur was flat-footed, Shakur does have movement, but the only thing that he does is pretty much, you know, do that step back, right? And he moves sideways. He doesn't slip shots like Tevin with his upper body because that's what Tevin does. But
Mhm.
Shakur does have good foot movement, like keeping his distance and make sure he gets away from any of these shots.
So let me ask you guys this for those of us who've seen. I think it was B3, my man Teach. Were you guys surprised that he was making it his business to back Zepeda up because Zepeda looked horrible when he was on the back foot.
Man, that was the perfect strategy, bro. That's what he needed to do because was one you can't be in the ring letting your opponent walk you down, and that's what Giovanni Cabrera is a good boxer, but he let Zepeda get all in his kitchen and up getting stopped. So Tevin had a great strategy. I think Shakur can implement the same strategy. He just got to make sure, he's healthy and not taking a fight, trying to fight him with one hand and jumping in and out and running all around the ring. He gonna have to stay in there and fight.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, Free, let me
Yo,
ask you this.
yo,
So
hey,
do
yeah,
you think that TF is more friendly than Shakur would be as a fight?
more what?
You think TF was more fan friendly? Because I think if Shakur fights Zepeda, he's going to run. Because Zepeda was in there punching. That's for sure. He was in there
Um,
punching.
well, yeah, I mean the way Tevin Farmer fight is more fan friendly because he's a boxer,
Hmm.
but he engages like um and I know T said he was surprised that Farmer fought the way that he did, but if you look at his last fight, he fought the same way the last. With a guy like Williams Zepeda, that's what you want to do. You want them to fight on their back foot because they're more of come forward fighters. They like to come forward. That's when they're in their bag when they can come forward and they got you fighting off the back foot. That's why Shakur had success with Oscar Valdez because he made Oscar Valdez back up. But when Oscar Valdez caught Shakur with that body shot, Oscar Valdez was able to come forward because Shakur wanted to stay away from the power. He felt the power and he wanted to stay away. So Oscar Valdez started having a little bit of success because he was able to come forward. But once Shakur got him on his back foot again, Oscar Valdez started looking like a person that didn't know what to do because he's not used to fighting on the back foot. Same thing with Williams Zepeda. He's more of a come forward fighter. When you got him fighting on the back foot, he's out of his element. That's what you want to do with a guy that comes forward. You want him to fight out of his element. You don't want him to fight his style of fighting. That's why I say when we always people always say styles make fights. I don't believe that. I believe who can impose their style makes the fight because you can have Williams Zepeda fight the same type of fighter like he fought against Tevin Farmer tonight. He looked bad against Tevin Farmer, but he could fight that same style the next time and look a lot better because he imposed his style on that fighter. It's not the style that makes the fight, it's who can impose this style that makes the fight.
I'll tell you what though, man. In a loss, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I was impressed. I was really impressed. I'll tell you that, Jerry. I was impressed with TF, man. I really think he actually proved this point that maybe Tank was ducking him back in the day. I don't know. I don't know. He looked great. Go ahead.
I'm gonna ignore that last statement.
Go ahead.
But look at the Ryo Pitbull fight. Ryo made Pitbull stop in his tracks, and even though Pitbull was steadily coming forward, every time Ryo would hit him, he'd get him enough to just stop him in his tracks and sidestep. Unlike Tank engaged him, and they jumped together and moved that phone booth all around the ring. Ryo made Pitbull have to stop in his track, have to pause, reset, and even though he was coming forward, Ryo was a better fighter on the back foot, being able to keep Pitbull pausing. Every time they have to reset, and that changes the fighter's mentality. So, like D. Free was saying, it imposed his will on the other fighter. So that style made Pitbull slow down. While Tevin had a wonderful display, he didn't use the jab enough. He didn't keep that jab, didn't keep Zepeda far enough out so that he could use that jab on a consistent basis. Because every time he used the jab, he looked really good. It's just as soon as he took that heartbeat to breathe and stopped using the jab, Zepeda was all up in the phone booth, Then they were scrambling eggs in that bad boy.
I'll tell you though, just for me being a big fan of Mexican style fighting, Zepeda, man, he's super one-dimensional, man. I didn't know that's all he can do is kung fu. Right. I mean, he had Tevin Farmer turning him around. I mean, golly. I you know what I was watching, Big John? I thought somebody had put like a I don't know if you remember that show, Punk. I thought I was getting punked, man, because you seen old ass Tevin Farmer backing him up, hitting him with that left hand at will. I mean, all that talk about fighting Abdul he better stop that. Abdul, stop him.
BBO, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, BBO.
Go ahead.
You never seen Williams Zepeda fight before? That was the first time you seen him fight?
No, I never realized when you take something away from him that he looked that bad. I never seen him have nothing taken away.
I'm about to say because we all know
that's all
he's one dimensional.
But I never seen nobody take that from him.
Well,
Tevin made it clear you're not going to walk me down. Like
Tevin was the first brother he fought, if I'm not mistaken. What?
It was the second. Remember, he had fought that mixed dude, like his 8th fight or something. Because he got a bunch of fight. He got that Jaime Mugia record where he got a bunch of like cab drivers and Amazon workers and stuff on his label on his record.
Yeah, he do.
I mean, it just is what it is, man. His record is real padded. But I'm just saying, the first I'm gonna use a word people don't like. The first nigga you fight got you looking like that. Come on, man. You ain't gonna beat these other dudes.
I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna say the first slick style. Well, actually, no, it's not the first slick style because he's beating some black guys and he's beating some boxers because he just beat Giovanni, and Giovanni is a boxer, and a lot of people believe that Giovanni beat Pitbull. They believe he beat Pitbull, and if you go back and watch the fight, you probably will agree that you would probably agree that he beat Pitbull. So
he got touched a little too much, though.
Yeah, he got put to sleep in what, 2 rounds?
Yeah, that was ugly.
I knew, you know what? I didn't know that Pitbull was so garbage until one time we was calling a fight up here, and Dre, the dude was throwing nothing but haymakers. I said, this dude is ass. Like, what are we
That is
watching?
So
And then
just
the moment
imagine
he
how bad
fight,
Rolly is.
and then the moment he fight a decent boxer in Rio, he get beat to death. It was just like, wow. Because I never
No, we been
understand how
we,
people.
we been knew Pitbull was what he was.
I never understood why they gave him so much credit. Tank kicked his ass with one hand.
that's why they gave him credit because he didn't go down for Tank. That's where he got his that's where his stardom came from. His
Wow.
stardom came from the end of at the end of 12 rounds, he was still
Hmm.
standing.
I mean,
That's
I'm
Tank
not
couldn't
gonna
even
hold
worry
on,
about
hold
the
on, hold on,
bottom of
hold on.
the
I can't
cage.
let y'all do that. I can't let you do that to Pitbull, BBO, because they moved Pitbull up to 140 because they used his name to because they knew Rolly couldn't hold no water. He was gonna get his ass
That's
whooped.
that's
He
what I
was
was
gonna get
about
his
to
ass
say.
whooped. So they moved Pitbull up to 135, and then Rio big ass beat up on little Pitbull. Pitbull's a little dude. Let's not act. And he was really given a blessing by even getting the Tank fight because you remember he wasn't really even supposed to get that.
that was supposed to be Rolly's fight, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a Rolly
I
fight.
couldn't believe.
Rolly had got moved out of that fight.
Yeah, with his legal
Yep.
issues.
Yeah,
No,
Rolly was
I could
doing a Marky Dan harassing women or something, so he took him out
harassing
of
Nah,
there.
women.
that
No,
wasn't true.
Marky Dan don't do that.
Rolly didn't do none of that. That wasn't true. Can't put
Yeah,
that
no,
on
it
Rolly.
wasn't true, but that's what he said. Hey,
That's
Teach,
Yeah,
what
let
they
me ask you,
definitely
said.
Teach,
cost
you
him the
still there?
fight.
No, I think that was some BS because it never went anywhere. BBO. It was just some accusations.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
they never went to court or nothing. It just disappeared all of a sudden.
Hey, Teach, let me
Yeah,
ask you this real quick, man.
he
I
say she
been
say
wanting to ask
shit.
you. I ain't talked to you in a minute. Hey, Teach, let me ask you this: who you think is more talented, Emiliano Vargas or the brother from or that guy? I think his name is Mason
The
something.
brother from your state, from your home state.
Who you think is better, Teach? Because I know you gonna give me a real answer, Teach. Who's better? Who's more talented?
Mason or Vargas.
Yeah,
You watching the
E-
fight with me?
Emiliano,
Okay.
he's 140, right?
yeah, he's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
at 40
140
now.
now.
But
Yeah,
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 he ate himself out of 135.
I mean, I really like Mason. I think Mason is a real talent. He's versatile. He's versatile. Like he's strong, has good foot movement, has good boxing IQ. And I mean, I think his defense is there.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, minus what we saw the last time. That was just everybody gets not hit like that at one point in time. But I think Mason is much better than Vargas in my opinion.
And he
I
almost
like
got stopped by a cab driver.
yeah, even if he
And
got stopped by Pep, he took a good shot, he got up, still beat up the guy, right?
He was
Punched him
blinded
and
by that
broke his
haircut.
leg. So
Okay.
He was
Well,
mesmerized by the haircut.
yeah. I think
you know,
Mason is the truth, honestly. Like I really like him.
but let me ask you this though, Teach, because some say Emiliano's a real bad man. When you see a guy that's that strong at 20, that don't make you kind of pause and say, "Dang, he look just like you." You see how much he look like his father in the ring?
Yep.
I mean,
Emiliano is nice too.
he looked like his dad, man. That's the thing that get me. He looked just like his dad.
I want him to get a step up like Mason did.
Yeah. I
So
want to
let's
see
see what
Have you
happens
seen
after that.
Ishmael Mason yet?
Nah,
No, I
I've
haven't
only
seen
seen
Ishmael.
one Mason brother fight so far.
Ishmael Mason went pro last year. He's the youngest. He went pro last year when Devin Haney and Ryan fought, and he makes Abdullah look like an amateur, bro.
I've never
you
seen him.
mean
I gotta
this? You
check him
mean
out.
you mean this year? That wasn't last year. That was this year.
Oh, that was this year. My bad. Yeah, this year. Sorry, this year. I mean, I'm thinking I'm already in the next year. My bad. I forgot that was this year. Good
No,
call,
you
Bree.
you mentioned Emilio, he mentioned Emilio Vargas, and and
When the
that's
last time
Big Hill got a
Emiliano even
crush on it.
fought, man? We ain't even seen him, bro. He was
Who?
supposed to show up to Norfolk and then he went ghost. Like Keyshawn
Like
Oh my
just
he
God.
stopped
just
the
He's such a
he
racist,
just
bro.
stopped the fucking Argentinian dude and Emiliano ain't even show up. Soft as hell.
Why would Emiliano come to Norfolk, bro? He lives in Vegas.
Because man, shouldn't he supposed to want that smoke, man? He was talking that talk. Why he
You
ain't pull up?
you heard what he said to Mason that he can get it.
Come on, man. He wanted a little Mason. He wanted little
hey,
29,
can I ask a
29.
question?
Man,
Come
Can I
on,
ask a
Emiliano
man.
question?
ain't even
Can I
got
ask
that
a
kind of
question?
potential.
If Vargas and Keyshawn is going to fight, what weight class they going to fight at?
Probably at
It
40.
don't matter wherever he want to
Yeah.
fight. 140, wherever he want to fight.
Well, I mean, if he want to fight at
There ain't no
140,
title on the line.
I mean, if he want to fight at 140, why he ain't fight his last two opponents at 140?
Cause he in line for the 135 title. That's just that's
I
just a
mean, well,
payday. That's just a big payday if ESPN want to do it. But Keyshawn is
that's
in
not
line
no
for
big
titles.
payday. That's not no big
Keyshawn.
payday.
You don't think so, Phil?
Yeah, because maybe because Vargas ain't got no fans. Keyshawn doing
No,
10,000.
that is not
Vargas ain't doing
that,
shit.
that's not no big payday because neither one of those guys are making $1 million in a
I
fight.
mean, ain't he a
How is
son
that
of
a
a
big payday?
legend? Ain't he a son of a
No,
Don't he got
neither.
a
legend?
million
He
subscribers
ain't got
now?
No,
nobody.
neither.
He ain't got no fans.
No, that's
He's
not
a
a
son of a
big
legend. He's
payday.
not a
Neither.
He
legend. He's a
can't
son
do
of a
no
legend.
tickets. I'm asking, can he do some tickets?
Hold up. Neither one of these guys have ever made a big money fight. These guys are not getting paid big money like that. So y'all saying this is a big fight?
He
In
made
who
200,000 his last fight.
eyes?
It's not.
For
200,000
ESPN,
is not big money
who else do
in the sport of
ESPN
boxing.
got? Who else do
Say it again,
ESPN
free.
got? Who else
You
do
said
ESPN
you
got?
said
That's
200,000 ain't
that's
a lot of money.
in boxing. That's not a lot of money in boxing. No, that's not.
A
Oh,
lot of
okay.
money.
It's bigger than the average.
Shit.
I mean,
It's not.
money wise, it's not
Shit.
a big
I
fight.
mean, is that
Talent
bigger
wise,
than what both of
it's,
these boys have been
Hold
paid
on,
in
one
the
at a time,
past?
y'all. One at a time. I want to hear everybody one at a time, please. Go ahead, Teach.
nah, I'm agreeing with D free. Like money wise, that's not a big fight. But talent wise, you could say it's a real competitive fight.
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean, it
that's
look
a good.
competitive.
It's
It
a
look
good
competitive
fight.
on paper, but that don't mean that it's
It's a
gonna be competitive when they get in the ring.
it
Because
very well might not be.
Emiliano's a few steps behind Keyshawn. A few.
No, no,
I
it
mean, he's
very
not a
well might
medalist,
not
bro.
be it might not be a competitive fight. It's a good fight to be made, but to say it's a big fight and neither one of these guys has done anything, no, that's not a big fight.
For
No,
ESPN,
that's not a
the
big
contact
fight
is
yet.
for
That those two
ESPN.
guys, they got to get built. They're on a track. They're
No,
not. So they're
no.
the people that's handling
When
them.
you
They don't
say
want them in that fight right now. That's a fight
no,
for
when you say
5 years, 4 years down the line.
yeah,
No
I
shit,
mean when
because
you
only
say
one person is doing anything. The other person is still a prospect.
Hold
Keyshawn
on,
is a
hold on, hold on, hold
contender
on, hold
about
on,
to
hold
fight
on.
for a
Three,
belt.
three, three, three.
Keyshawn,
You see the
Emiliano can't even
talent.
do no tickets.
no,
Hold on,
He ain't
Teach,
got no
Teach,
I don't
fan
man.
care.
base.
I
Teach,
don't care if he has a fan base or not. I don't care about that. What I'm talking about when you say big fight, we're talking about.
Emiliano just fought Bob the Builder.
Listen what I'm saying. When we talk about big fight, we talking about people paying to see the fight. That's a big fight. People are
He,
paying to see it. This
damn,
is not a
this
big
Mexican
fight.
boy ain't got no fans. Ain't nobody
No,
gonna
I
go
ain't.
pay to see him fight.
When has
God
Keyshawn?
damn.
He's never headlined a
The
card
fuck is he
before, so you
from?
don't know what kind of
When
drawing
has
power he has.
when
Who the
has
hell is
Keyshawn
this
been
kid?
on pay
I
per
thought he
view?
was the son of a legend. Don't he
When
got the
has
fly
Keyshawn been on pay
suits?
per view? When has
BVO,
Keyshawn
don't he
been on
got
pay
the
per
fly
view?
suits?
When
BVO,
has
does he
Keyshawn
not got
been
the
on pay per
fly
view?
suits?
When has
I mean,
Keyshawn been on pay
this.
per view? When
Hold
has
on,
he
hold
been
on.
on
You
pay per
talking
view?
about
Hey, free.
pay-per-views, nigga. ESPN and Bob
I
Arum
just
don't
said
do
that.
pay-per-views,
I just
nigga.
said that.
Bob Arum
I
don't
just
do
said that.
pay-per-views, nigga. He
The
just make
nigga
fights
just said.
happen. He
Hey,
just make fights
Yes, he
nigga
happen,
just
nigga. What the
said
fuck is
that.
you talking
yes he
about
does. Yes
pay-per-views?
he
This ain't no
does.
Tank Davis
Yes he
show, nigga.
does.
This is
Yes he does.
ESPN. This is
I mean,
ESPN.
Loma and Devin was on pay per view.
Congratulations.
ESPN.
You talking about an undisputed champion. We talking about a nigga
It
that
was.
nobody never
It was
heard
still.
of, a son of a
You said
legend
you
who
said
can't
he.
even do no
You said
fucking
he don't.
tickets. Who
You
can't even
said
do
he
no
doesn't
fucking
do it.
tickets. You
You
comparing
said he
him to
doesn't do it.
Lomachenko, nigga?
Hold
We
on.
talking
You
about
can't
Hold on.
somebody
Let me
that
go.
can't
Hold on.
even
Hold
do
on.
no
Hold on.
fucking
Let me say
tickets.
this.
We
Hold on.
talking
B
about a
three.
pay
so
B
per
three.
view.
Hold on. Hold on.
We
B
just
three.
talking about
so
giving a nigga
so
Hold on. B
opportunity
three.
to
When you
fight on the
listen,
main
B three.
event.
Hold on. Let me say. Let me say
so
this.
don't
Hold on. Let me say this
so
real
don't
quick,
say
We
Chris.
it's a
just
big
talking about
fight then.
putting a little
Hold on. Let
motherfucker
me
on to
say.
fight
Hold
a
on,
main
y'all. Hold on.
event,
Hold on. Hold on, y'all.
giving
Let me
them an
say this.
opportunity.
Hold on. B three. B three. I'm your brother. Come on. This is what I'm saying. D Free does this thing where the nigga is literally he wants to be super literal whenever you say something. So that's why he's saying that.
You
But
can't say it's a big fight if it's not a fight that people was paying to see. If you're talking about a regular fight, then just say it's a good fight, not a big fight. A good fight. It's two
how much
different
money would
things.
they make, Teach? How much they make if you put
Not
Emiliano?
they ain't gonna make
So,
nothing because don't nobody know Emiliano Vargas. Nobody know who the fuck he is but you. You the only
so I
one who
mean,
know him.
Hold on. You got to be out your mind. Everybody know Emiliano Vargas. You out your
He can't
mind,
do
bro.
the. Ain't nobody going to see him.
Everybody know his daddy.
Dude, hold on. This the dude, Paul's be having the Cartier glasses on. Always got all that gel in his hair, bro. He know what he doing, man. They know what they
I
doing.
mean, if Emiliano had to headline a card in his daddy's backyard and his daddy was promoting, and yeah, people coming out to the fight.
They from
If he had
Vegas.
to go to Vegas, yeah, I think people would come out. But his
Dude, how
father
many
would
well,
let me
have
ask
to
you this. Let me ask
promote
you
the
this,
shit
Big
out of
Dre.
that. They'd have to be
Big
doing
Dre.
radio interviews.
How many white suits do you got to see Emiliano in to see that they trying to make him a star? The nigga dressed like Lisa Ray. Every time I see him, he got a white suit on with some Cartiers on. They're trying to make him like a Oscar De La Hoya slash I don't know like pretty boy thing. I don't know what they doing with it. It's weird. But if he stopped Keyshawn, I think it'd be a huge fight for him if he could do that. But I don't
mm,
He
think it's
got to
pay per
listen to
view.
Keyshawn first.
That that
See,
that that would be
right
a
now,
huge.
Bob got a
That would be
plan
a
for
huge statement.
Keyshawn,
Hey,
and it
That
if
would
don't
be a
y'all
and it
that
ain't
would
don't
be
if
a
include
y'all
huge.
ain't watching
Emiliano Vargas.
UFC, turn it on right now. It's about to be a good fight.
That would be a huge statement if he does fight Keyshawn to stop him. That would be a huge statement. It would.
Because Emiliano he told Devin, you keep saying my name and a couple fights, I'm gonna come get you.
In a couple fights.
which makes
Bro,
it a good
he's
fight.
20 years old, man. That's the thing you missing, Mark.
Man, stay in your goddamn lane. If you're not ready, don't talk about it.
Hold on, teach, man. School this nigga. Tell him how niggas got it take time to get ready. Teach. Tell this nigga this, man.
I mean, I want to comment on what
Oh, go ahead.
pretty much what D3 said because like I agree with them 100%. Pay-per-view, Keyshawn and Emiliano is not going to be a pay-per-view fight, so you're not going to make money that way. Where is Emiliano from? Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas.
And
Yep.
where's Keyshawn from?
Nowhere.
Norfolk,
Norfolk.
What?
Norfolk.
Norfolk,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Virginia.
Norfolk.
yo, he from
Okay,
Norfolk, Virginia,
Virginia.
bro.
So Keyshawn had to go to Virginia to do what? 10K, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know how much Emiliano has
In
done so
11
far.
fights, Emiliano ain't done nothing.
Yeah. So now if you take both those guys and move them to Vegas, I
Yeah.
mean, how do you see them doing 10K in Vegas, right? Because
I mean,
Keyshawn's people are in Virginia.
nah, nobody know him, bro. He can't do tickets in his hometown, so he got to come to Norfolk. That's just
All
how
right.
it's gonna
I
work.
mean,
We'll bring his
Keyshawn and
glasses
So,
off.
so if he goes to Virginia, they probably do like another 10K again. And then how
Right.
much are you selling the tickets for? Like maybe $50
Twenty
plus,
five
right?
I
dollars.
mean, hopefully somebody know
$25.
Emiliano so we can up the price. But D Free said nobody know who he is.
Right?
I
Because
didn't
when
say
They
you
had
nobody know
Vargas
who
when
he
Vargas
is.
in
you
Vegas,
bro.
when you look
I
at
think he
You
could
didn't.
do
You
some numbers.
when
Hold
you
on,
look
one at a
at
time.
don't
One
say
at a
D
time,
I
Free.
please,
want to
please.
say
One
Don't
at a
this.
say.
time, please.
I
Don't
want to
say
say
D
this.
Free said anything because I never said nobody know who he is. You said
Go
that.
ahead, teach. Go ahead, teach.
So, so I want to say this. When you look at, for example, Tank and Ryan, right? And what their ticket was in Vegas, it was like $700 plus for a ticket. They made like
Right.
a 20-something million dollar gate. So if they're selling like $50 a ticket with like 10,000 people, let's say 15,000 people, it's not, it's not a big gate, right? So big fight, no. Good fight, yes.
Hey
Man,
man,
I
you
ain't gonna
know,
lie, Teach,
I'm
you are tough, bro. Jesus Christ. We talking about two dudes that's still under 26. I mean, I think I get what you're
I
saying,
mean,
but I think
everybody
Let's be
put down
honest.
the
It's an
everybody put
undercard
down the
fight.
big fight part, but y'all okay with saying it's a good fight. But that's we just seen Keyshawn. We understand Keyshawn is a silver medalist. We just seen him stop Lamos who
Who
almost
beat Hitler?
arguably beat Africa.
Yeah.
And Emiliano, what did we see him do? He's still a prospect. Has he even had
Hold
a
on.
10 rounder?
He just stopped that old
I
dude. What you
mean,
talking
no,
about? Oh.
he stopped somebody that loads lumber in your vehicle. Like he's not he he ain't fought nobody, bro. So I'm just
I'd
trying to
pick
figure out why everybody's saying they think it's a good fight. Maybe are y'all saying down the line because y'all don't see it happening right now, or y'all think it's competitive right now?
I mean, on paper, to me, it looks good. I'd pick Keyshawn to win for sure. But on paper, right now, I think Emiliano is good, and I think Keyshawn is definitely good. So, I mean, that's the only way I could compare it right now.
Hey, Teach, I would say that Emiliano got the same talent as his dad, but bigger version. And you see how he looked versus Tito Trinidad versus Oscar De La Hoya. We seen some moments. I don't know. I guess you guys ain't big on talent.
Emiliano's a blown up 135, bro. How you gonna say a bigger version of his dad? Come on, bro.
I think his dad was like maybe 5'6", 5'7". He might be 5'9".
Hell no.
Emilio, Emilio, Emilio Vargas is a 140-pound fighter.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah,
his height.
he's
I think he about 5'9", 5'8". I'm not sure.
Yeah, his father was 5'8".
Oh, he was?
man. Them
Yeah, his
dudes
father.
don't want to see.
Yeah, his
Hey,
father
hey,
5'8".
BVO. Hey, BVO. I know you. You know you a racist, so on you support guys like Devin Haney. What you think about this dude Oscar Duarte calling him out? Who is Oscar Duarte, and why is he calling out Devin Haney?
Um, I think that's a good fight. But if I'm Devin, I'm not taking a fight that tough fresh off. I think Devin should go down to the yard service where Tank goes and get one of those yard workers and fight them. Maybe
One
get
of
two.
Emiliano, one of them guys Emiliano be fighting.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think
Nah,
Big
he
J. I
need to
would say
go to the
he need
Trump
like maybe
detention
two
bin.
fights,
Hey,
2 easy fights. Go ahead.
Duarte is an easy fight. What you talking about? We seen him. We
No.
seen them. We seen Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. They got to cut out that A side. They on a big stage, so they doing that A side politics stuff. Tevin won, and Akhmedov beat Duarte, but they need Zepeda and Duarte to move on. So they doing some nasty work over there. That was some nasty work today.
Yeah, it was.
Real nasty.
But I don't know. Hey
But nah,
Dre.
that dude Duarte can't fuck with Devin Haney though. Let's keep it a stack.
Uh,
I don't even think that's a good matchup for the 5v5.
Facts. I agree with
I
that.
think Devin is kind of broken, man, as a fighter because I mean he got beat up pretty bad, man. And
Man,
when I seen him on the
why you
Andre
say that?
Ward show, Andre Ward was talking to him. He said he don't feel he can work on nothing. So I don't know.
Cause he's a goat, man. He's a young goat. What you mean? I
he ain't no
mean,
damn goat.
all he gotta do is get back in there, man. You want it? You
I'm
thinking
a big fan of
Duarte?
Laura Haney too, man.
You got Duarte if they run the fade. You got Duarte.
No,
No.
but the only thing about Devin is only really special when he way bigger than somebody. So we're gonna see what happens when he get to like as close to his right weight class welterweight.
Wow,
Because I heard him you can hear him saying it audibly telling
that's
Loma he's too
crazy,
small.
man.
Hey, Teach, you didn't hear
The
them say
Devin
that?
hate is
Teach, you
crazy.
said that? Teach, did you hear
Yeah.
Devin Haney telling Loma you too small, you too small? Same thing he told Regis Prograde, you too small. I
Wow.
never
He
heard no
told
fighter
So
say that
everybody.
but
what? So
Devin.
Devin Haney is a giant now. He's just this big monstrous guy, huh?
No, I think he
He's a
a
scary
dude who
guy,
know how
huh?
to get down there with the
He's
small
Baba
guys.
Yaga. Oh, Baba Yaga Haney. Oh, okay, Baba Yaga. Okay, I got you. That's why he couldn't get tanked. He's so big and shit, right? Pause.
Whoa, that was crazy. Um,
I mean,
wow,
you crazy, man.
that was crazy, bro.
You talking about
Bro,
Devin Haney is bigger than who? Like what?
everybody at the weight class.
Devin is little as shit.
Hell
No, he
no.
not. No, he
Devin
not.
is
Dev walk around close to no. I think Dev walk around at 160 or a little bit above
No,
that.
Dad walk
I mean,
around at
Tank do
170.
that. I mean, what's that? What's
Nah,
Dad walk
Tank
160
don't
around at
walk
for a
around
grown
160.
man? Come on, man. These dudes, man. Listen.
No, that's
B3, you
20
know.
pounds you got to cut.
Hey, Big Dre, can I ask you a question, brother? Is Big
That's like
Dre
a
there?
Yeah, go
whole
ahead.
head, bro.
Big Dre, let me
Go
ask you,
ahead.
how come you never say nothing when you hear your boy B3, who's clearly a racist, always say this stuff about black fighters? It's always something negative.
You said
Like
D3?
I said
Big
B3.
Dre. Oh,
Oh,
No, he said Big Dre. I think Big Dre dropped off.
Oh, okay. I don't know,
Yeah, I
Free. I
think he
don't know
dropped
how
yeah.
off.
y'all
He
let
so
him
he
get up
can't he
here and
can't
do
he
this. He
can't
get
spew
up
your
here.
propaganda for you.
This dude, I swear, this dude get up here and just lie to the people, man. It's crazy. I never met a guy like my man B3. It's crazy,
Hey,
dog.
Hey, BVO, only put. I just got to come on here to tell the truth, man, because you'll lead the people to believe that Emiliano is not fighting cab drivers, and Tio is not, actually a garbage man, because we know he got bills to
I don't
pay.
even talk about Tio at all anymore.
I wonder.
Hey,
You
Puerto
can't
Rican
talk
Free.
about him. He ain't got no fight. He ain't a
Puerto
boxer.
Rican
He a
Free. Do I
garbage
talk
man.
about
He
Tio at
moved.
all anymore?
He moved trash for a living. You don't.
Uh,
What you talk about him for?
Did you hear Puerto Rican Free? I don't talk about the nigga at all.
yeah, he don't talk about him no more.
Dude
Damn,
is
So
man.
how
racist,
did his name
bro.
come up twice today? Come on, man.
Huh?
I said, how did T.O.'s name come up
I
twice
thought you
today?
BVO. You told me he was taken out of context, so now he a racist.
No, he went back and was calling niggas monkeys and stuff. Like
Yeah, he
and
been said that. Where you been at,
Said
B3?
that.
He been said that. He said that. BBO said that about 2 weeks ago. He was like, man, nah, I'm not messing with T.O. no more.
yeah, he was calling niggas monkeys and stuff, man. I can't remember my one dude hit me, KQKC. I always mess his name up, doggone.
That's
But KQKC,
KQKC.
I
Yeah.
mean,
big
I mean, to a real nigga, to a real Emiliano told Devin to hold the L, and we know, that was some great white hope, the shit that Ryan pulled. So to a real nigga, Emiliano on that list too. So is it fuck him
how?
too? Huh?
What
I
the
mean, he
holding
sided
it?
with Ryan. He sided with Lion racist Ryan. They all in
Well, he don't mess
cahoots.
with Ryan at all.
I
They
said
all
that
can.
Devin
They
should
all in
Wait,
hold the L.
cahoots.
wait, am I
I
hearing
said
this
Devin should hold
correctly?
the L.
Go ahead,
You
TJ.
got
Am I
beat.
am I hearing this?
Ostarine,
Oh, okay.
listen, whether it was Ostarine, Ovaltine, Valvoline, I don't care. You got your ass whooped in that ring that night.
We
Take
ain't
the
talking
L
about
and
racist drugs. We talking about racist and drug cheese. We ain't talking about no cheating ass Ryan Garcia boxing, no Devin Haney.
yeah,
That's
in
a
the
bullshit. That was a bullshit ass fight.
in the ring, he got his ass
Uh,
whooped, didn't he? Did you see him take that L in the ring?
I
Did you see him take the L in the ring?
If that was
seen
his
him
boy
cycling
Abdul, he wouldn't
or,
be
or
saying
or
that.
or washing out his system with illegal IVs, and we see him pop dirty for a drug test.
Again,
I seen that.
he I seen him be questioned about some an illegal substance. Yes. He also was never convicted of that illegal substance. He was he was suspended for not giving up
Oh shit.
the list of items he took. Listen, and again, I don't care. Like I said, Ostarine, Ovaltine, Valvoline, it don't matter to me. Devin took an L that night. Devin
Hey,
took the
free.
L that night.
Hey, free, man. You not gonna cook Jay for saying that?
um, I somewhat agree with him because even though the man might have been on Oxygen, it didn't have nothing to do with Devin walking into them damn left hooks when we know that's all Ryan Garcia has is a left hook. If you
But
know
free,
that's
you
all he
said you don't
has,
have no tolerance for drugs. That's what you said.
no,
I don't have a tolerance for
I'm
drugs
not
either.
excusing Ryan for. I'm not excusing Ryan for the drugs. I'm not saying Ryan is not a drug cheat. What I'm saying is, if you know that a man only has a left hook, your big thing that you was built up on was Devin Haney take your best attribute away from you. Well, that night you didn't take it away. You kept getting hit by it over and over again.
He took it away. He took it. He took it to the corner. He took it to the head. He took it to the body. He took that left hook.
Yeah, Devin. Devin fought the wrong fight that night, and he paid for it. He fought the wrong fight. He tried to go in there and knock Ryan out, and we know that you're not a knockout. I said this many times prior to that fight happening. Stop listening to these delusional ass fans and thinking that you're going to knock somebody out and just outbox them. There's nothing wrong with just being a pure boxer. We've seen a lot of them in our time. Sweet Pea was a pure boxer. He was not a knockout artist. A lot of people loved him. Floyd Mayweather, and later in his career, was a boxer, was not a knockout artist. Some people hated him, some people loved him. Most people hated him because they couldn't find a way to get his ass whooped. But there's a lot of guys that was just pure boxer that a lot of people love. You was listening to your delusional ass fans. That's what the problem was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I
that's a
saw
good
was
point. I mean, I like Devin though.
in the very first round, okay, about 30 seconds into that first round,
Yeah,
Ryan threw a left hook. Devin caught it with the side of his face. I mean, again, I'm not advocating for PED use.
right.
I'm not saying that Ryan didn't have something in his system. Okay. But what I'm saying is Ryan has beaten Devin 3 times prior to this in their lifetime in the ring. So they fought
Yep.
6 times, and Ryan has beaten them 3 times. Somewhere in those 3 times, you knew that he had a left hook. Everybody has said Ryan's only weapon is that left hook. So in 30 seconds into the first round, you get hit with a left hook. There were maybe 28 times during that fight he got hit with a left hook. You said the one thing that you worked on during your training camp was protecting yourself from the left hook. If that's what you've been working on, somebody was teaching you wrong.
I tell you this
He,
though, either way it go, I'll be happy to see Devin get back in the ring because I'm tired of hearing all the talk.
I would love to see him get back in the ring, but he's turned down 3 fights this year. Eddie Hearn gave him 3 fights. He could have went in and
Oh,
fought Liam Paro for the IBF strap. He could have fought what was the guy?
Martin. Sergio
Yeah,
Martin.
Sergio Martin.
His
He could have
mandatory.
fought Sandor Martin.
Sandor Martin,
I
yeah,
mean, Sandor Martin. His
Yeah,
mandatory.
his mandatory. He could have went and fought Sandor, and that would have gave him his strap back. Nope, he didn't want to do that. And there was another fight that he turned down. So your champion in recess, might well be champion out, at recess on the playground because that's where he's fighting at. He ain't doing nothing. I
yeah.
said the night of the fight when he first came out the ring and said that he's not sure that he wants to run it back. The night of the fight, he said that into a microphone. I said something broken, Devin. That's not the Warriors mentality. Now, he changed his story a couple of times back and forth, and he's still changing his story back and forth about wanting to fight Ryan. Okay, but this is all before any of the drug stuff came out. Before any of the drug stuff came out, he said he didn't want his get back. I said, oh man, that's the sign of a broken fighter. That's a mental breakdown that you just can't get away from. And until he gets away from that and get to put some gloves on and get back in the ring, that shows that he's, as they call him, Lord Hanos. Hey, I'm gonna continue to say I think he's a broken fighter. D Free, what you got to say about that?
I don't know if he's a broken fighter. We'll find out when he get in the ring again. But me personally, If I was in his camp, I would tell him he need to take a light task. He don't need to get in there with somebody that's a puncher. You need to get in there with somebody where you can sharpen up your tools and work on some things. Somebody like Duarte is a perfect opponent for him. Now Duarte is a power puncher, but he's not that good. He's not that good. He's
Isn't
a big
Duarte the
puncher,
guy
but
that
he's not
Rolly
that
beat
good.
up? Isn't
Duarte was the guy that Ryan fought when he came back. When Ryan first came back, he fought, when he went up to actually not when he first came back. When he went up to 140 before he fought Devin, he fought Duarte. That was the guy that Ryan fought.
Okay.
Right before he fought Devin, he fought Duarte and he stopped him, I think, in like the 5th round. He stopped Duarte in like the fifth or 6th round. But
I thought
Duarte, he's a
Duarte
big
was the guy
puncher.
that Rolly took a title from.
No. That was you talking about the old man. You talking about the
Oh,
old man. No, that's the
that
different
was
one.
Barroso.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
my bad.
Duarte is the guy that Ryan fought right before he fought Devin. That was the guy
Okay.
because that was the fight that he took right after he got knocked out by Tank. That was the
Yeah,
first fight that he took, and he fought him,
in
and then he
Houston.
fought Devin after that.
He fought him in Houston. I think that's what
Right,
it was.
right. Yeah, he fought him right after he fought Tank, and he looked Ryan looked a little sketchy at the beginning of that fight, and then that's when everybody was saying, "Oh, Ryan working with Derek James got Ryan with some footwork." Because Ryan was moving all around the ring. He wasn't standing right in front of him and throwing big shots. Ryan was using some footwork. Then Ryan started to settle down in that fight, and he caught Duarte with a big shot, and it was curtains after that. But that wouldn't be a bad fight. I think what would have been a better fight if he would have fought Shandor Martin. If he would have fought Shandor Martin, his mandatory, that was a perfect fight. Somebody who's a boxer, but he's not a big puncher. He doesn't have power like that. That was a perfect fight for Devin to take right after that Ryan fight. I don't know why he didn't take it. I don't know if it was something that somebody told him in his camp. I don't know. But that was a perfect fight for him to take to get his head back into the game because he could have got in there and got some confidence under his belt because after fighting somebody like Ryan and you got rocked the way you did against Ryan, if you get in there with somebody who's a big puncher and you get hit, all of that stuff that happened in that fight with Ryan is going to come back in your head again. You're going to be scared and you ain't going to want to get dropped. You're going to start looking like AJ. That's what's going to happen. You're going to start looking like AJ and being real hesitant for throwing shots.
Yeah, that's I think that's a fair assessment. Um, you know, I think he made several mistakes, leading up to the Ryan fight. He made several mistakes in the Ryan fight, and it's just had a snowball effect because he's been making mistakes after mistake after mistake ever since the Ryan fight, up to and including swinging on that carnival worker. And he's really fortunate that he didn't make contact because I think if he had actually hit him, you know, he'd been in a world of hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do. I wouldn't say he's broken just yet. It remains to be seen. If he goes in his next fight and he's scared to throw shots, he's scared to take hits, then I can say, okay, yeah, he's broken. He don't have the confidence he had prior to the Ryan fight because Devin was going in there and was willing to trade with people prior to that Ryan fight. He got in there and he built up a little bit too much false confidence, and he got in there with Ryan and thought that he could do the same thing with Ryan, and he kept getting caught with that left hook, and that was a bad assessment from what he used to doing. I mean, like I said, Devin was built on the fact of he was supposed to be a protege Mayweather coming up. He was working with Floyd as a young kid. They were saying he was more of the money Mayweather Floyd, and Tank was the pretty boy Floyd.
Yeah.
And that he was supposed to be one of those guys. Tank and Devin are two of the guys that came up under Floyd, and they famous for taking your best attribute away. Devin didn't do that on that night. He didn't do it because, like I said, everybody that watch boxing know Ryan only has a left hook. He'll throw a jab here and there. He'll throw a right hand here and there. But his money shot is that left hook. He tried it on Tank. Tank caught it a couple of times, and it didn't have no effect on Tank. He caught the left hook from Ryan a couple of times in that fight, but it didn't have no effect on Tank. Devin caught that same left hook, and it had the effect that Ryan was looking for. So he kept throwing it. And Devin kept walking into it.
What
Yeah,
is that?
it's it's a sad state of affairs right now with the way Devin is moving and treating his career. He didn't
I
realize
mean,
that.
Big Dre, I know I let you talk for I got a butt cut in right here. I don't understand how you could blame Devin when at the end of the day this is prize fighting and he went up against a cokehead promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, who represents a drug cheat in Ryan Garcia. Um, and all Devin is a pro boxer that's looking to make money and create legacy. I mean, at the end of the day, he
Okay,
went in there
so
with a drug cheat that purposely missed weight. So he purposely did what he needed to do to have an advantage on fight night.
B3,
okay, so
are you
he
ever
got
gonna move
cheated.
on from that?
I
He
mean,
got
that's what we
cheated
talk. I
in
mean, it's big. I mean,
he
Big
got
Drake.
cheated
We talking. I mean, I'm just talking about what Big Drake talking about. BBO. What's wrong with
he
you?
got
Come on,
cheated
man.
I'm
in April.
asking.
What has he done since?
Uh,
Say that again.
He got cheated in
the
April.
I
only
What
mean,
he
he
done
problem I
since?
training.
have
You
with
see
what you,
him training with Mickey Bay and Freddie Roach, right?
That's
yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
CTE,
It got
hopefully,
to
bro.
like I
make
said,
sense. It got to make sense for him to get back in the ring. What you
he's
mean?
turned down 3 fights.
No, that's not true. Tio
He has
turned down
turned
the
down
fight.
3 fights.
No,
He
that's
turned
not true. That's not true.
okay.
Turkey
He
had a
but
rollout. The Turkey had a rollout. But he couldn't get that big one to make it happen. He wanted
wait a
a
minute.
2 fight
well,
deal, but he couldn't get
I'm not
he
even
couldn't get Teal to agree on the second fight.
I'm not even worried about the Tio fight. I'm not worried about the Tio fight. I'm talking about
I didn't mention the Theo
I
fight.
don't like the fact that he turned down a fight for his mandatory, which was a good fight
What
for
fight
him to
was
get
that?
back in the ring.
Sandor Martin.
Shandor Martin.
Who? That wasn't no fight
Shandor
though. That
Martin.
was a purse
That
bid.
was
That's
his
not a fight.
mandatory.
That's not a fight though.
That was
That's a
his
purse
mandatory.
bid.
No,
That was his
no,
mandatory.
listen.
That's why he don't have a belt
That
right now.
that was his mandatory. That was his
Yeah, but they
mandatory.
but they weren't but they weren't meeting his minimum, so that's not a fight that he can take. What are you talking about? The
Why couldn't
purse
he
bid
take
No,
was
that
not
it
fight?
meeting
is a
his
fight.
minimum.
Hold
Y'all
up.
y'all
That
y'all
is a
want him to
fight.
do something that don't
That-
make sense business
no,
wise.
Did Booth just
no,
fight?
that is a hold up, Dre. Hold up, Dre.
Boost ain't have no
The business.
Boost ain't no undisputed champion. The
Wait a
fuck?
minute. But
No,
did Booth just fight?
Bro, we
the
comparing him to
Did Booth
somebody that's
just
been
fight?
there and done that, bruh. And y'all want him to take
no.
a
Hold up.
$1.7 million purse bid? Y'all being unrealistic. You know
No,
what I'm
the
saying?
problem is
Mr. Literal,
this. Is, hold
you
up.
gotta literally know that's
Hold up.
unrealistic.
No, it's not
How's that?
unrealistic because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's not unrealistic because that's the name of the game when you get into the business. If y'all don't agree on the money and it's still mandatory, y'all don't agree on the money, it goes to a purse bid. When it goes to a purse bid, whatever the bid is what the bid is. That's literally the business of the boxing.
And
Whatever
how
the
many
bid
times have
is
you
what the
seen a
bid is.
champion drop their belt and not and you know what I'm saying in these
I didn't.
situations? You see it all the
What I'm
time.
saying
Nobody
is
that belt is irrelevant. What I'm saying is the business that fight taking that fight did not
no,
make sense, and they weren't putting
no.
up the money to fight. No, nobody was putting up the money for no Sandor Martin fight.
Okay, well,
Listen, what I'm saying.
Nobody had put up any
I don't.
money
I
for
don't.
Sandor.
I don't. listen what I'm saying. I don't care about the money. Devin Haney is not going broke, and he needs to get paid a certain amount of money. He's not broke. Devin Haney is well off. What I'm saying is the fight was a good fight for Devin to get his confidence back after being beat up the way he was by Ryan
That's
Garcia.
your opinion,
That's what
though.
I'm talking about.
That's your opinion, but that fight couldn't happen. Nobody was putting
Why
the
couldn't it
money up for
happen?
that fight, though,
They
because
put money up
nobody's
for the
putting
fight.
up the no
Well,
legitimate bread for the fight. Come on.
I mean, I
But
want
wait
to
a minute.
know.
well,
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let
well,
me
if
let me
ain't
say something,
nobody
T.
putting if ain't nobody putting the money up, then y'all should not be going around saying this man is the face of boxing because ain't nobody putting no money up
Who
for
is
his fights.
calling?
I want to
Come on,
know.
bro.
You just called the man,
Can I say something?
undisputed champion.
I'm just saying.
And he has a minimum. Well, if his own promoter did not bid on that fight. His own promoter did not bid on that fight.
Because they had bigger plans than to do a mandatory against a Sandor Martin, and no, that was inactive. No,
Bigger,
Top Rank wasn't even putting Sandor Martin in no fights. Why ain't Sandor fight Tio in a rematch? Why ain't Sandor ain't fought nobody? They sitting. It's a business move for them to occupy Sandor on Top Rank. So Devin had to have a business move because the purse bid was trash. If the purse
Well,
bid was
Sandor
up to
Martin,
par.
So you throw away your belt,
was- and
your
Sandor,
only piece of
Nah,
leverage.
y'all said belts don't matter.
All right.
I didn't say belts don't matter, but
they don't matter to
Oh,
me.
okay,
They,
okay.
that
I
is
got
his
group.
they
I
only
mean, I
don't
piece of
matter
got
to me.
grouped
leverage.
in like I said
I
something.
mean,
So I mean,
can
I
I say
thought you
They
something?
said.
don't matter to me. Go ahead, teach. Go ahead, teach.
Nah, I mean, I just want to say to the fella who said Devin is moving weird. I mean, I want to know how he's moving weird. Like Devin, he's not my favorite fighter. Shakur is my favorite fighter. But what I've seen from Devin, I've seen Devin always calling for the best. I've seen Devin go undisputed. I've seen Devin fought the guys at 135, right? In Tio. Same thing with Tio. I've seen Tio fight the guys at 135. I've seen Josh Taylor fight. Um, I've seen Tio fight Josh Taylor. So these guys are doing something. After these guys retire, you're going to remember their accolades and you're going to remember who they fight. You're not going to remember money, right? So Devin, he did something. Tio, he did something. So Devin is not moving weird, right? I don't think Devin is moving weird at all. Devin is
Okay, well,
actually taking challenges.
let me ask you this question: if he's not moving weird, okay, you went into that fight in April with Ryan Garcia. You didn't get the result that you were looking for. Okay, you found out there was some irregularity, so you went to get your O back. You were granted your O. Now you need to move on and box somebody. Get your confidence back because see, you left some of your confidence in that ring with Ryan Garcia. No matter how
Dre,
no
Big
matter
Dre, you contradicting
no
yourself, Big
matter
Dre.
how you look at it, he left some of his confidence in that ring with Ryan Garcia. He need to get it back.
And we
So
just
But
have to
the
wait to
but
see what he
easiest
does
way to get
next.
your
That's
confidence
it.
back
That's
is to,
it.
if you fall off a horse, the easiest way to get back is to get
So
the
we
confidence back to ride a horse is to get back on the horse, right?
right. So we just
man,
have to
Joe,
wait
D
to see
Free
what he
already
does next,
told you the
right?
boy got his ass whooped. How
We
you gonna
just have
tell him to move on and he just got his ass whooped? Most people that get an ass whooping like that, they out of the ring for at least a year. Hell, so we know a lot of fighters that
so
only fight once a year anyway, and they don't get
my
their ass
thing
Hey,
whooped.
you
my
got to pay
thing
for
is
it.
Devin
$20.
Devin is not retired yet. So we just have to wait to see what he does next. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is he was offered a fight for his mandatory, and rather than fight his mandatory,
Big
okay.
Dre, come on now.
Wait a minute,
What's
no,
your favorite? They say about your favorite fighter, he don't take pay cuts. So now you want somebody else's favorite fighter to take a pay cut. Come on, Big Dre. You know the
wait a
game
minute
don't
now.
work like that. Just like you say, you don't set precedent. That's why Boots. That's why Boots wasn't going out here offering people crazy money because then it's going to set precedent for the next champion. Devin can't go out here and taking less money because it's going to set precedent for the following fight. You
Wait a
I
minute.
know,
mean
Wait a
it's
minute.
I mean
Let me let
that
me let
just
me, let
says
me
it
ask you
all.
this. So if if his minimum, which was like $5 million, am I correct in saying that? I
We
think
can
his
say that.
minimum
We
was
can say
five
that. We
million.
can let's say that. That's cool. 5 mil.
Okay, and somebody offers up a total fight pack purse of $2.5 million. What does that tell you? That tells you that this person thinks that you are not worth $5 million. Your promoter, who had the opportunity to put up a
I
purse bid.
disagree with that, Big Dre. That's
Wait a minute.
incorrect. They're saying that the fight. They're
Your
saying the
own
fight is
promoter,
not worth it.
your
They're saying
own
the fight
promoter.
might be only worth 2.5, not Devin, because Devin can get in another fight and make well over 2.5. That's the difference. So that's why they was gonna go with tune up on the Better Be Bivol card and then fight Tio in February, but Tio ain't want to do it.
Okay, but he didn't take the tune-up fight on the Better Be Bivol fight either.
Yeah, because it didn't make sense.
No, no, no.
Because
Why
why
didn't
take
it
a
make
tune
sense?
up? Why do a rollout if you don't have no big fight? That's like Tank fought Hector, but you gonna fight Pierce O'Leary and then not have a big name attached to it? Come on, bro. Nobody's going for that.
Okay,
Devin, even though he had a tough fight with Ryan, the Devin doesn't have the luxury. He only fight champions, truthfully. So Ryan got really a pass. I guess he was an interim champion, but he really got a pass. And probably that's probably why he got that ass whippings because he went away from his model of only fighting champions. So
okay. He
I'm
only fight
come on.
champions. Well, if he only fight champions, you have to be a champion to only fight champions. Now he's
He
a
only fought
champion
two
in recess.
That's
champions.
He
not
don't
true.
have a
That's not
belt.
true.
He's not a champion.
That's
He
not. He is
gave
a champion.
away.
He's a champion in recess.
Okay,
Still a
who
champion.
recognizes that?
Just in
No,
recess.
he's not. He's not a champion. He's not a
WBC.
champion in recess anymore. He's not a champion in recess
So he
anymore
lost his status.
because
D
he
free.
turned down the he's not the champion in recess anymore because he turned down the mandatory fight. He dropped his belt. He's not the champion in recess anymore. He dropped his belt.
So if I go
He
on
turned down
ESPN
his
right now, it's
mandatory.
not going to say he's the champion of recess.
When we see that he is not a champion anymore, you will say, okay, yeah, you're right. He's not a champion anymore.
Oh, that's right, because his
That's
belt
why
got picked up.
that's why the fight that he was gonna have for the IBF wasn't for a unification fight. It was for only the IBF because he doesn't have
He
the
ain't even
title anymore.
have no IBF fight though. D free. You making up? That's rant. That's something
The
that was
Liam
that's
Pryor
make
fight was
believe.
the Liam Pryor
But
the
that's
Liam
make it
Pryor
ain't
fight for the
nothing
IBF
come of
fight.
it. We don't know what the
Listen what
WBC
I'm saying.
would have maneuvered their
Listen,
way
listen
into.
what
Yeah, we know how they get down.
listen what I'm saying. The Liam Prime fight was for the IBF. It wasn't for a unification. It was for the IBF, not a unification.
Right, but what I'm saying is there wasn't even no serious negotiations to even that. That's just is
That's
what
because
we
Devin turned it down.
speculating. We're speculating that it was, but you can't say turned it down. If that's what I'm saying, there wasn't no money up for the Paro nigga. They don't know him over there. They not really supporting him like
And
that.
nobody, no, nobody putting up
Cambosis
any
was
money.
an
So what you're
undisputed
saying is he's
champion.
not going to get no fights then. So what you're saying is he's not going to get no fight because nobody putting any money up for none of his fights.
No, they putting the money up
That's
for
what
the
you're telling
Tio
me.
fight, but the Tio's a duck, and they'll put money up for Ryan, but
Okay,
Ryan don't want to do the
so,
testing.
so he
Ryan don't want to do
he
testing. He
just wait
ducking
for.
Vada.
So
I'm Vada
you just
too.
wait for Tio
I'll go to
to
Vada. I'll
change
go
his
to
mind. You just wait for
US88.
Tio. There's
Yeah,
nobody else to fight, just
big
Tio.
names and champions. Yeah, big names and champions. I mean, Barrios, we can't get no PBC work.
Oh,
I mean, we'll take Barrios, but we ain't gonna get that work. You know that. You
you
know
got
that.
fighters at 140 that's willing to fight
Barrios is
you.
at
You got
147.
fighters at
Who?
140 that's
So
willing
he
to
wants
fight
to go
you,
to 147.
but
He
Like
gonna
who?
take two fights at
Like
140.
you
who?
don't want to take them because they're not giving you the money that you want.
Yeah,
So
it's
you just
prize
don't take no
fighting. It's
fights.
prize
Is what
fighting.
you're
It's
telling
tank
me.
fighting. It's tank fighting in December.
Okay. So
I mean,
so basically what you're saying is he's not gonna have no fight. That's basically what you're telling me. He's not gonna have no
nah,
fight.
it's he'll have a fight, but
Okay,
see
let's talk
now
about the
they
tank
missed
fight.
the
Let's talk about
opportunity
the tank
for a
fight.
tune-up, so now it's just gonna be a big fight. Or I mean, unless he get the
Hey,
unless they really gonna do the Duarte fight on the 5v5 card, but that's gonna either be that fight or yeah, like you saying, he gonna have to sit out. And nobody want that. And I know y'all don't agree with that. I don't agree with him sitting out. I don't agree with him sitting out this long. But like y'all saying, we don't know the full damage of the ass whooping he took. So it's good. It's probably good that he got a break. But at the end of the day, he ain't gonna be able to get no tune-up now because that February card is gonna be major.
Well,
Listen,
he wasn't gonna be able to come right back after the Ryan fight anyway. He was suspended for 6 months because of the ass whooping that he took. He was suspended for 6 months.
Come
So
on, they gave him
that's the
6 months
reason why.
suspension, D3. I thought first, really, when he didn't get stopped, but usually when you get stopped, it's 3 months. But come on,
No,
D3. They gave him a 6 month suspension.
That according to what they said, it was a 6 month suspension.
I don't blame him.
I'm
He
not saying
probably that's bad though, nigga. They said
according
they
to what
gonna
they
double
said.
that shit. They said, "Listen,
no,
man, we seen something historic, man.
only 90
Nobody
days.
we ain't never seen Devin in really in that compromising of a situation, and instead of the mandatory 3 months, they had to give his ass 6. Damn.
I don't care if it was 3 months, 6 months, or whatever. He had opportunities to get tune-up fights, and he chose not to take them because he didn't like the money. He had an opportunity to get tune-up fights. Shannon
I
Martin
can
was a
agree.
tune-up
I
fight.
mean, it's hard to agree with that only because of the finances, but I mean, yeah, if you saying okay, you could fight this person, but we only gonna pay you this, and you like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna wait till I can
But the
fight
thing
a
is,
bigger fight.
see this,
I mean,
y'all thinking off the finances. Well, I'm looking at the tune-up. A tune-up is not a big fight. It's not a big fight. You're not gonna unless you
yeah, but you ain't
that
dealing with no
fighter like
puncher, so D free. Come on, we know we ain't
no.
dealing with no
Listen what I'm
puncher,
saying.
so a tune up is still
Listen,
that's gonna be a tough fight for Devin.
listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. I said a tune-up is not a big fight. It's not
Right.
a big money fight. When you get in a tune-up, it's not a big money fight. So unless you somebody like a Tank Davis or a Canelo who gets big gates and you get a lot of people watching on pay-per-view, it's not going to be a big money fight anyway because it's a tune-up. You're not, and a lot of people not paying to see that fight because it's a
Right, but I
tune-up.
don't think.
Tank
But
Davis
Sandor Martin is
he
not a
has
tune-up though.
the audience. I think
Sandor
it
Martin was a
is a tune-up.
mandatory.
Yeah, that was exactly. That's a
I
mandatory.
think
That.
he's a mandatory, but what I'm saying, I think it is a tune-up because Shandor Martin
Come
is not a
on,
big
D.
puncher. I think he's a
Sandor Martin
tune-up.
But
not.
that's not.
I don't
You know,
think
that's
Shandor.
not the only facet
Me
to his
personally,
game.
I don't. No, me personally, I don't think Shandor Martin is that good. I don't think he's that good. I think that's a tune-up.
D for you gonna get your boy Devin hurt, man. Devin will get hurt in there.
Dog, do y'all realize? Shandor Martin only made his name because he beat a old Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia. That's how he
But
got
then
his
he
name.
proved. But then he
Shandor
proved tough in
Martin.
the Tio fight. He proved he can handle himself with Tio too, though.
I don't think T.O.'s that good. I
I
don't think
mean,
T.O.'s that good.
Good.
a unified. Come on, D Free. He got to get
Listen,
some credit for
No,
being unified.
we seen T.O. get
Tio
his ass
fights should have
whooped by
never been competition.
Cambosis.
Yeah, we have. You're right.
I don't, I
So
don't think
Cambosis
T.O.'s
is
that
that
good.
good?
But let me
I think
ask you
he's
this,
okay.
D3, because we know Devin is at a power deficit. What do you break down that Sandor Martin fight? Because I think that still would be a tough stylistic fight for him because he will probably be the aggressor in that fight, and that's gonna play into Sandor Martin's hands.
Okay.
No, I think
Supposed to be
Devin. I
fighting
think Devin
champions.
can stay. I think Devin can stay on the outside and jab Shandor Martin and make him have to fight Devin's style of fighting. He make him have to come at him. Devin could do exactly what he did to Cambosis. Stay on the
Yes.
outside and jab him the entire night and make him have to force the fight, which plays into Devin's hand. Devin fights well on the back foot. Devin fights well in turn while he's turning his opponent. So when you make somebody fight your style of fighting, they playing into your hand. So Devin can do exactly what he did to Cambosis. He could just jab him the entire night and make him have to do something different. He's not a big puncher. Shandor Martin is a 140-pound Cambosis. That's what he is.
And that's
He's a
why I guess
140-pound Cambosis.
And both of them clipped Tio.
Yeah, Tio.
Yeah, you're right about
And
that.
we saw what
Tio is.
Devin did. We saw what Devin beat Cambosos 24 straight rounds.
But see, D Free, but let
24
me ask
straight.
y'all, let me say this because we these are all the top guys in the sport and at least, top ranked guys in their weight class, former champions, all the guys that we talking about. But then people will say, Devin's not like that. Devin's not, Devin's overrated. How y'all look on that? What y'all think about as far as Devin and him and his rating and ranking just as far as the top guys in and around the weight classes?
Well, I
I
think
think
Devin
Devin
got
is a
lucky.
top
Oh,
fighter.
D Free, let me jump in here real quick. Okay, I think
Go ahead, go
Devin
ahead,
got
go ahead.
lucky. I think
Look
Devin
at
got
that.
lucky because he went to he agreed to go to Australia to fight Cambosis. Okay, and because Cambosis beat Tio and picked up the belts, Devin went the easy route, went to Australia and picked up those belts and became undisputed. One fight. Ooh, man, that was really good of him. And then, even as the B side, he had to go back to Australia. Okay? He couldn't even have that as undisputed champion. He had to go back to Australia to defend it. Okay? So he went back to Australia. He fought Lomachenko, biggest name on the block. Okay? But him and Lomachenko, they did 150K on the pay-per-view. Um,
Moving the
and Bob
goalposts,
said,
Big Dre.
and Bob Arum himself said it didn't make money. At 150K is supposed to be the break-even point. You're supposed to at least make a little. You're supposed to make a couple of dollars. He said it didn't make money.
I mean, they paid the B side too much. Devin got 22% on the Cambosis deal or whatever, and Loma got what? I don't what is he got about 40%. So maybe they should have I don't know, maybe either he should have got more money from ESPN or they should have cut a little bit more out of Loma check. You know what
But
I'm
it
saying? Because the undisputed
wait a
champion,
minute.
he got to get his money.
Yeah,
Come
No,
he
on now.
got to get his
no,
money. You're
the
right. He
problem
got to get his
was
money. But it didn't make enough money for them to break even.
They broke even. They broke because 150,000.
no, they
They
broke
I think
even. That's what
it
they
goes
did.
like
They
9 million
even.
or something
They
like
didn't
that.
make yeah,
They
they
didn't,
they didn't make any money, they broke even. They didn't make
Yeah,
any money, they just broke even. That's
yeah,
what the problem was. They didn't make no money, they just broke even.
right. Because that's a high guarantee for Bob. Because you giving the A side guy 4 million, and then his opponent 3 million. That's 7 million in guarantees outside of your undercard. So and then plus your production costs and all that. That's a lot of bread. To only
See,
do
like
like you
me
saying, to only do
me
100, and then they
personally,
only charge $60 for the pay per view. So that kind of cut into the
yeah,
So
like me personally, I think Devin is a top fighter
yeah.
around his weight class. 140, 135. I don't know about 147 yet. I don't know about 147, but 140, 135. Devin is a top fighter. The problem is he looked bad in that fight. He needs to get his confidence back. I
Yeah.
think, like I said, Devin listened to his fans, his delusional fans, not all his fans, his delusional fans, and he believed that he can go in there and knock an opponent out. If Devin just be what he is, a pure boxer, Devin is a problem for a lot of people. That's why they want to see Devin and Tank, Devin and Shakur, and they wanted to see Devin and Loma because Devin is a top fighter. You don't want to see Tank in there with a bottom feed fighter. You want to see him in there with the top guys. You don't want to see Shakur in there with the guy that's ranked at the bottom. You want to see him in there with the top guys. So that's why I said Devin is a top fighter. Prior to what we saw with the Loma fight, it just he looked. I mean, the Ryan fight is just he had a bad night and it stood out because everybody was watching. It was on pay-per-view. Everybody was watching. They made a big deal about the fight. And we just saw what Ryan went through with Tank, and now Devin is getting in there, and Tank and Devin name are connected. And so Everybody's watching to see how Devin look against Ryan. We saw what Tank did, and we saw what happened. So everybody's going to have a bad night. Everybody's going to have a bad night. I need to see Devin in there with another fighter to see his confidence come back. That's why I said Sandor Martin. He's not a lot of y'all think he's real good or whatever. I don't think he's that good. I think he's
So,
an
but let
okay
me ask you
fighter.
this, D
He's a
Free.
C level fighter.
Wouldn't you rather see him, or do you think it's too risky to come back with a somewhat of a puncher? That way you can get your questions answered.
Hell no.
Because if he go in there against somebody that's not considered a puncher, that's not gonna answer the questions about his chin. We need to be
No,
able to
but
see him
I'm gonna tell you.
withstand, because he's not gonna go 12 rounds without getting touched.
No,
So like a
see,
Duarte,
I
I
don't want him.
think Duarte is actually a decent test, because Duarte is pretty tough. You know what I'm saying?
And
I
Devin
think
turned him down.
No, I don't. I'm gonna tell you why I don't want him in there with a puncher. Because if he's in there with somebody who's a half decent puncher, if he get hit with a clean shot, he's going to shell back up. I don't want him to shell back up. I want him to get in there with somebody who's not a big puncher, but they ain't weak neither. He's not a big puncher like Sandor Martin. He's not a big puncher, but he's not weak neither. So if he does get hit with a clean shot, he'll realize, okay, I took that shot and I'm not hurt. It builds his confidence. So now when he goes back, he's like, okay, I'm not hurt. I took a clean shot. Now he's starting to get the confidence back, and he work his way back up to those big punchers. I don't want him jumping right in there with a big puncher or somewhat of a decent puncher, because if he get hit and he get hit clean, he's going to shell up, and you're going to see Devin Haney put his hands in his pocket, and he's going to be like Adrian Bono.
But hold
That's
on,
what you're going to
D
see.
Free. Hold on, D Free. I know you making an assumption based off of what you know, just a bunch off your intellect. But with Devin, when he got hit with a big shot against Ryan, he kept pressing the action forward. He didn't shell up. He kept letting his hands go. So,
Yeah.
you
And
know what
then
I'm
if
saying. So he
then
gotta get
Ryan hit him again.
can he not get the benefit of the doubt that if he do get hit with a big shot that he gonna keep, you know what I'm saying, he gonna keep fighting?
So what happened the second half of the
Dog,
fight?
we,
The
No, he
second
got.
half
I
of the
mean, he
fight.
was
I'm
getting
looking at
caught,
the
but
fact.
he never stopped. He never stopped punching though, Big Dre.
No, he didn't
I'm
stop.
gonna tell you why
If he stopped punching, then Harvey would have stopped
he
the
kept
fight.
he kept coming because he was fighting off of pure heart at that
Yeah,
time. He was fighting off of pure heart, and his adrenaline was pumping. But now you going into a fight fresh to let that fight sink in, and you realize you got beat up. You realize you got beat up, regardless of what he say on camera. He went back and looked at that fight and realized he got beat up. And so now that sinked in, it plays a part with your mental. I don't care who you are. It's going to play a part with your mental. When you get hit again, you're going to start to think about that time when you got caught by Ryan and you got beat up. You're going to start to think about it. So he might go ahead and fight through it. But majority of the time, 99% of the time, when you get beat up the way he did, and you get back in there with a big puncher and get hit clean again, you usually shell up because you don't want to be hurt the same way you got hurt in your last fight. You don't want to get hurt.
He'll turn into a Shakur, with the De Los Santos fight. Because as soon as Shakur felt that power, it was like, oh, wait a minute. I got to get back. Let me get back. Let me get back. And then he got back, and then he tried to get in there and engage. He hurt his hand again. Now his hand hurt, and he don't want to get hit with the power. Earned the nickname Track Star. We don't want that to happen to Devin. We want to see Devin out there fighting. And if Devin but the only way to see Devin out there fighting is for him to get out there and fight. Now,
yeah. But what you got? But you got to understand, Devin.
as a former undisputed champion, okay, yeah, he should have a minimum. But after taking that L, you got to realize when you take an L, the stock goes down. Especially when you take an L from a non-champion.
But that L was a race,
The
and
L.
it was a people's champion.
Wait a minute.
Because
That
that's why
L
he
was
was able to
erased
make the
on
fight.
paper. That L was erased on paper.
Nah, it was
People saw
literally
that
it
fight.
was literal no, but it was literally erased, not figuratively. Literally.
Yeah, it was erased, but people saw that fight. You can't unsee the fight.
Yeah, and the vast majority are casuals. They don't follow what's going on behind the scenes and what happened that he tested positive and all that. Most of them probably don't even know that he tested positive unless somebody told them, "Hey, Ryan tested positive in that fight." Most of them don't even know that he tested positive.
And then they'll say, "What
So
fight?"
right, so yeah, the stock goes down because not because you lost, because how bad you look in that loss. Now, yeah, it got erased, but you still look bad. You still look bad. And you were supposed to be the superior boxer. So that stock does come down a little bit.
So when the
Yeah,
stock
but
go
that
down, the paycheck
just
go
because the
down.
stock go down, see this is what the problem is that you know y'all want them to take a tune up, and granted that might be the best thing, just like we want Errol Spence to take a tune up. You know what I'm saying? That might be better than just jumping there with Fondora. But at the end of the day, I'm just being honest with y'all. I mean, nobody really knows who Pierce O'Leary is on this side, but for Devin not being a puncher, if he don't crack him with nothing like he did Abdulayev and break a bone in his face, or just outclass him like he did Moran, if he don't do nothing like that, I mean, he could be in a tough fight. So it's no point of I don't see the benefit of
Okay, if he goes
Devin.
against a champion, he gonna be in
I
a
would
tough
rather him
fight.
fight Tio. I think Tio is probably an easier fight than Sandor in certain aspects.
You know,
Nah,
he could fight the freaking paper boy. I don't care. I want him in the ring.
yeah,
He got
Yeah,
to
I
but
pay
don't
Big
I
J,
belt
but you
money.
didn't but you didn't even give him you're not even
I,
concerned that he just got cheated by Ryan purposely missing weight, and then whatever he did with all the drugs in his system.
okay, that's
So that's what I'm
fine. He
saying. But
got
then,
cheated.
and not only that, but hold on, but not only that, you have to at least if you're not gonna at least do that, you got to at least allow him 6 to 8 months recovery before he even schedule a fight. He was going
no,
D Free was saying,
Okay,
he doing
six
stuff for the
months.
fans. He was about to fight this dude Pierce O'Leary on a better beef undercard for the fans, and then come back and then try to fight Tio next year. That ain't that it's that probably is not best after you get your ass whooped. You probably need to
Why is
sit
it not
down.
best? It would have been a light. It would have been a light touch. He could get in there
eh,
with a fighter. He could get
because you
some
don't know his
rounds
name.
in.
Bakram was supposed to be a light touch. You see
Listen,
what I'm saying? You go ahead. The Devin is not no puncher. That's my whole point. I'm not really. I don't
we
not
know
even
Devin's not a
experiment with
puncher.
him. Bill, y'all already.
Devin is a very good boxer.
But you already
Devin is a
mapped out
very
what
good
Bill
boxer.
did. You said Bill match made him perfectly.
I never
So
said anything about Bill. The hell
you
with
so you
Bill.
never said Bill. So you never said that Devin fought all old guys past their
I
prime.
no, I never
Then you
said
just
that.
say he got lucky with the undisputed, and
Yes, he
you were
did get
saying,
lucky with the undisputed.
yeah, you were saying
Cause
he
he
was built up, he was manufactured, right? Didn't you say all that?
so wait a minute. So when you go for undisputed, you got one title. Okay? It's a super title that doesn't have a mandatory.
Crawford had one
Okay?
title too, though.
So Devin had one title. It
Crawford
was
had
a
one
super
title.
right.
it was a super title that did not have a mandatory. Okay?
He was the world champion. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? Yeah, he
He
did have a
he
mandatory. He fought
he was
JoJo
a
Diaz,
super champion.
but he fought
He was
JoJo
a
Diaz was his mandatory.
No, Devin had mandatories because Cambosos had the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
Devin fought
okay.
mandatories, bro. That's a mis narrative that people keep putting out
I
there.
didn't say he didn't fight mandatories. I didn't say he did not fight mandatories.
Because JoJo wouldn't fit the description
At the
of
at the
age and
time
size. Because JoJo
the
is
time of the
young.
Kambosos fight, at the time of the Kambosos fight, Devin had a super belt.
No, he didn't have. He
Yes,
didn't
he
have a super
did.
belt.
What you
He
talking
didn't have a
about?
super belt.
Didn't
He
Devin
Devin
won the
have
never
the
had.
super belt?
franchise against Cambosis. He won the super
No,
title against Cambosis.
yeah, the franchise was the super belt for the WBC. Devin never had the franchise belt until he beat Kambosos and he got rid of the
Okay,
franchise belt.
all right, my bad. At any rate, Devin had one belt when he went to fight Kambosos and picked up 3 more.
Yeah, the real belt, the green one that
So
Muhammad
so
Ali had and Floyd Mayweather.
so he got 3 belts and became undisputed in a single fight. He didn't have to run the gauntlet. He didn't have to fight 5
I mean,
champions.
Terrence Crawford did the same thing at 147.
He he went he got but he got if you
He
look out
beat it.
there if you look out there at the landscape of 135, who was the easiest champion in all of 135?
I mean, Cambosis probably tell you Tio was.
Yeah, Kambosos might tell you Tio was only because he beat Tio.
I mean, I wouldn't call Cambosis the easiest because he beat Tio. So I mean, that's just a false narrative.
I mean, actually, at 135, I mean, outside of Tank Davis, Kambosos was the only champion. Tank
And
Davis,
Devin.
Tank Davis, Kambosos, and Devin. They were the only champions.
So
Nobody else was champion at 135.
so when you look out there and you look at the landscape
Yeah, but
again.
that if that's the case, then D Free. I mean, we have to look at it because Devin, depending on how many title defenses you give Devin, I
Well,
mean,
I mean, me personally, I don't look at it that way because Devin wanted to fight with Tio. Tio chose to go and fight his
right,
mandatory
Cambosis.
in
Yeah,
Kambosos.
facts. Yeah.
Tio chose to fight Kambosos. Devin wanted to fight with Tio. So I don't look at it that way. He wanted to fight with Tio. He ran down on Tio a few times trying to get that fight, and Tio kept putting him off. And he lied and said, "I'm gonna send a contract to you and Kambosos. Whoever signs first, that's who I'm fighting." And Bob came out and said, "Tio don't send any contracts. I send the contract." So I don't know what he's talking about. So that whole thing was a lie. But I don't look at it as like Devin only wanted to fight Kambosos. No, he wanted to fight with Tio. Tio just wouldn't fight him.
Well,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah, he a
At
duck, Big
any
J.
rate, he was in the fight with the weakest link. He was the B side going over there. He get over there as the B side, he wins. Now, as undisputed champion, yes, you had a rematch clause. Okay, fine, you got a rematch clause, but as currently you are the undisputed champion. As the undisputed champion, shouldn't you have A side rights?
He was locked. He was
I mean,
locked in the contract, Big Dre. You know, black
you
people
Actually,
we gotta do
actually
twice
no.
as much to get half as far. You know that.
Yeah, the contract was that he signed the contract for Kambosos to be the A side. He takes whatever the money was that he was getting. I think it was like somewhere like 25%, and Kambosos got the other 75% or something like that. And that was the same deal for the rematch as well, regardless of who won. Kambosos would still get the same exact deal, and Devin would get the same exact deal.
Hey, Big Dre, that's the worst deal. Then what's the deal that was it Joe Lewis that he had who was the champion that he beat and he had to pay the champion like in perpetuity or something off of his purses? Like that's the worst. Devin Devin had the worst deal
yeah,
since
that's
that
almost
one.
as bad.
That's almost as bad. I mean, how you become the champ,
It's
the undisputed champion, and then I gotta go
yeah,
back to your backyard, and then not only that, I gotta give your homeboy Lomachenko an opportunity too.
And see, and that's the reason why Tank Davis told Kambosos, "Fuck them belts. I
Yep.
fight you for free. Well, not for free, but I don't need those belts. You can keep
Yeah.
those belts. I'll whoop your ass.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Australia." And everybody took what Tank Davis said, and like, oh, Tank Davis said, fuck those belts. No, he was saying that to Kambosos because Kambosos was trying to sell the belts, and he found the buyer,
You're trying
which
to
was
sell
Devin.
them. Yeah.
He found the buyer in Devin,
But
and Devin
Devin
took
needed
that
them.
deal.
Devin needed them. Yeah, because
Yes,
Devin,
you're right. Devin
yeah,
needed him.
Devin
Tank
definitely
didn't
needed
need
them
him.
for sure.
Tank said, I'm not coming to Australia just to fight you for those belts, and I'm not taking the bullshit deal. So he didn't go to Australia. He didn't take the bullshit deal. Devin, oh, here's the opportunity. I get to go to Australia. I get to fight for undisputed. There's a really good chance I'm gonna win. Hey, sign me up. So he took the B side for the first fight, which put him in a contract for the B side for the second fight as undisputed champion. And it was a one-way rematch clause. Bob knew exactly what he was doing when he put that contract in front of Devin.
Yeah, he only gave him
And
24 hours to think about
he
it too.
only did it. He only did it so he could set Devin up for Lomachenko.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well for him. Devin whipped Loma's
Yeah, well, that
ass.
didn't work out so well either.
Yeah, he whipped
You know,
Loma's ass. I mean,
he did not.
that got ugly
That
for
fight
Loma.
was so much closer than everybody give it credit for. And I watched that fight several times. Okay, and three out
Big
of the
Dre,
four times
9-3 is not close.
I watched it, I scored it for Lomachenko. I scored it for Lomachenko the first
3 out of
time
the
I watched
4.
it live. Yes,
You
3 out
were
of the
you
4
worse than
times.
you worse than Cambosis. That's 25%. So Devin get 25% from you and 25% from Cambosis.
Listen,
I mean, the brother's working hard, man.
hey,
I mean, golly.
listen.
Big
I
Dre,
didn't
he
think
beat Big Dre,
I
Big
didn't
Dre,
think he did enough.
Devin beat Loma 9 rounds to 3, man. That was
No, no,
a
no, 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 no,
easy
no.
that was easy work, man.
That was a 7-6. I mean a 7-5 Loma win, um, all day long, and that's my opinion now, and I could be wrong. Because
It's just that if you
the
seen, but
judges
my
had
whole
it
thing is about with scoring
a
that fight. It's
7-5
like
Loma. I mean Devin.
if you seen Loma win 7 rounds, I just can't see what 5 rounds did you score for Devin. Like I only gave Loma 3 rounds.
Okay, you
I
gave him
did.
3 rounds. Okay, I gave him probably 2 or 3 of the swing rounds, and I gave him and yes, I gave him 12. Okay,
Yeah,
12.
yeah. See, that's your bias
They
though.
both took their foot off the gas in 12. So
You hate Devin.
I gave Loma 12.
Big
I
J, you
gave
hate
Loma 12.
Devin for giving Loma 12, bro. You know that. Come on. All 3 of the judges, everybody seen Devin. It's a 10-point must system. So that 10-10 shit don't count. Like Devin did the better work in 12, even though
Devin got hit with the
a
harder
lot
shot.
of work.
He
Not
may
in
have done
12
the
though.
better work, but he got hit with the harder shots.
Not in 12.
No,
In
not
12, he
not in
did.
12.
Not in
Not in
12,
12.
bro.
No, Loma even said he shouldn't have took off the 12th round. He said it his own self. He took the
He's
12th round off. That's
Yeah.
the reason why I said it was a draw, because I had it I had it
six.
I
You
had
had
it 6
6-5.
I had it 6-5. I had it 6-5 Loma. He took off the 12th round and Devin won it. He took off the 12th round. If Loma would have won that 12th round, I said Loma would have won that fight. I had it a draw. It was a evenly matched fight. Both those guys had good rounds throughout that entire fight. Both
It
of
was
them
a
had good
very
rounds.
evenly matched fight, and that fight could have went either way, depending upon how you scored a few of the rounds in the middle. Because there were a couple of swing rounds that you could have gave to Devin or you could have gave to Loma. Um, I thought Loma had the harder punches, okay, the more effective punches, um, whereas Devin was doing some of the better work. He was going to the body, and he was making even though it didn't seem to be having an effect at the time.
Yeah, it
So
definitely had an effect in the 12th round and after the fight when he
Loma
beat
said he took
Costa.
that. He thought he was ahead of in the fight and took it off. He started off the 12th round, put in a little bit of
Yeah,
good work,
the
and then took
judges
off the rest of the round.
the judges ain't think he had to fight one. I don't know. I don't know if Papachenko told him he did, but that was a bad move. He needed the 12th round just to get a draw, if I'm not mistaken,
Well,
on
it's
two
like
on two of the scorecards.
according to the fight cards, it was close. I mean, and depending upon your vantage point, I mean that's why they use three judges, and one judge is usually way off because his vantage point sucks. They fighting in
Yeah,
the
it's
corner. They
just
fighting
difficult
right
to
over top
fight
of him, and he can't see because of
in
the
the type
ropes,
of defense that you
or he
want, that
can't
like a
see because
Devin
of the
Haney,
referee.
like Devin. It's like with most like people, how they have an unobjective eye. It's like they're overcritical of certain, like a Jerron Ennis, the Avanesian fight. I think people was like really overcritical. It's like certain things you'll see is like Tevin Farmer, even Tevin Farmer today, like he got to get a second knockdown, probably just to get a draw or maybe get a win. You know what I'm saying? He got to do so much more. So it's like
That's
with Devin, like people are seeing in that Loma fight, Loma was getting outworked. Devin was working him to the body. He was outworking him majority of the rounds. So it's like if it's another fighter that they do the better of the work, you know, we're happy to give them a round. I think Barrios had a horrible performance against Ramos, but you see how, D1 and other people think Barrios and they was thinking Barrios was winning. I didn't think that at all. But so it's like certain people will get points for being aggressive. Other people, they can't get hit in a fight. If they get hit in a fight, they had a bad performance or they lost a round or something like that. It's like, no, just because they got hit and you don't want to see a brother get hit, or you want his defense to be A1 100% of the time. I mean, that don't mean he lost a round just because he got hit. You know what
yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
okay. There were two draws yesterday. Um, well, there were two fights that were with questionable outcomes because I thought that Amanda Serrano beat the snot out of Katie Taylor. Um,
Come on, Big Dre. You cannot believe that. Come on,
oh
man.
come on, man!
Big Dre.
Amanda,
Amanda couldn't
Katie,
duck the left hook. I thought you. I
is,
thought. I thought y'all. I thought you. You would
wait a
have
minute,
pointed
wait a
that
minute.
out.
You know why? You know why she couldn't duck the left hook? Because she had blood running in her eye from her headbutt.
Hey, man, that's a part of the sport.
And it is part of the sport. But so if you ask me, that headbutt wasn't so incidental. Okay, and every time Katie Taylor got in a clinch, she rubbed that damn braid right in that damn eye.
Man, listen, I seen
I still think
she had a billion. She had about a billionth of a eyesight distortion. That's about it. I think it was about a billionth of whatever you want to, a billionth of distortion. I don't want to hear
all that.
no excuses from anybody that don't believe Osterin matter. This is prize fighting. So at the end of the day, I mean, we talking about something that happened in the ring ahead, but I mean, you got to fight through that. Tim Tszyu fought through a gash in his head,
Yes, he
12
did.
rounds.
Uh
So I
huh.
mean, we can't give Amanda that excuse. Amanda was getting clipped with plenty counters. I mean, Katie is a phenomenal fighter, bro. I
Katie,
just
Katie was Katie was eating jabs for fucking breakfast.
man, Katie was boxing beautifully. I gotta rewatch. I might rewatch that fight now. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you have to
rewatch.
rewatch that fight.
That's a good fight, but
I,
I
I
still
gave
I don't believe Amanda.
I gave Amanda the fight. I thought, listen,
What
it
you
was a
gave her
split.
6 rounds to 4 or what? What was your rounds? What was your scorecard?
I don't remember what I wrote. I was at a dinner thing, so
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking and watching it, and eating and watching. But it was my opinion that Amanda Serrano won the fight. Mario Barrios, I think he did enough to win. It was a close fight. And again, I'm going from my vantage point. Okay, I'm not a judge sitting ringside, but I don't have a clear. I got a camera angle view, so I can't see everything, and nobody can see everything. Judges are sitting ringside, but they got to look, and their view gets partially blocked by the ropes, by the referee, by the fighters themselves. That's why you got three judges sitting at three different places on the ring. So it's all a matter of perspective. When you
Yeah,
get
man. I
fights,
mean,
when you get when
you
you get
like pressure fighters? Is that the style that you like? You like pressure fighters? Did you think Robson won the first fight against Foster?
but I'm gonna say no. I didn't think Robinson won the first fight against Foster,
Okay, yeah.
but that was again another close fight. Um,
How many did you think the Tank and Isak Cruz fight was close, or did you give him any rounds? How many rounds did you give Isak?
um, I think I gave Isak two, maybe three rounds. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Because they was banging. That was a fight that was that was an unexpected fight. That was it went from a a boxing match to a straight out brawl.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but I think Tank handled himself well through adversity. In that fight. What you think about the Barrios Ramos fight? Who do you think won that fight?
Like I said, I thought Barrios won that fight.
Wow. Okay. What were you seeing from him?
Five
I'm gonna have
pointed
to
to.
rewatch that
It
fight.
was a close fight. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't something. Um, they both were bleeding. They both had good defense. They both they were rocking each other like rock'em sock'em robots. They were applying pressure both ways. Um, Hard fight to score, um, and it could have went either way. They ended up calling it a draw.
Yeah, I thought that was a bad call. I thought Ramos was doing way better work.
Ramos, he did.
He closed it. I mean, he closed the show the right way. He closed it.
Yeah, he did close the show the right way. He went out there and put in, a lot of hard work, and um, but he also took a lot of punishment.
And
So
it's funny. It's funny that they didn't give him that win when he really got the fight because he hasn't been able to become a champion. I think he got that opportunity because he is with the PBC. So like I think like how Rayo got the Pitbull opportunity, and then Barrios got Ramos got the bar the Barrios opportunity. It's like they not
I wonder what Barrios.
subtly they are allowing their fighters to fight to take opportunities, but they still are controlling controlling the fight by making sure somebody that's connected to them has the opportunity to get the belt. So that's pretty smart.
It's the
I didn't
same
like
thing.
that. I didn't like the
It's the
Abel
same
Ramos
thing
fight
Bob
either.
Arum does, man. It's the same thing Bob Arum does with Top Rank.
Yeah, with
Hell,
them
they call
belts.
the
Yeah, with them belts.
WBO as whatever Bob orders. Bob got the majority of the WBO belts are with Top Rank. Okay, Bob don't want to let those belts go. Bob wants to see his fighters on top, but Bob don't want belts to leave house. He was really pissed when Shakur took that WBC out and left. You know, The
Hey, I think Alicia might stop Amanda. Amanda, she's heavy on her front foot, man. And she was getting caught by Katie. You know, Katie ain't got no pop.
that's why
Katie ain't stopped nobody in about 5 years.
that's why Katie leans in so much.
And Katie,
Push.
like a man,
Katie's a brawler. She wants to get in there and she wants to be shoulder to shoulder uh, in a brawl. She wants to make that thing. She wants to fight in the phone booth. Um, Amanda
not with
came up
Amanda,
short
she
last.
didn't. She boxed Amanda.
No,
I'm
no, no.
watching this fight now. She boxed the shit out of Amanda.
Amanda made her box.
Yeah, because Amanda is a come forward pressure fighter, and she that's just her style. I mean, she's that's what she wants to do. She did that's her role. I mean, but that's why she lost twice. The boxer beats the brawler. I mean, that's just boxing. She caught her with that one punch in the first round, and then after that,
She put that
Katie
jab.
Katie composed. Man,
She
Katie is
put
one
that
of the
jab in
greatest
her
fighters
face
I've ever
a
seen in
bunch
my
of
life,
times last
man.
night.
Huh?
She put Katie on pause a couple of times last night with that jab, just right down the middle, pop, 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 and just it was.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. I gave Serrano the first round because of the big punch, but I'm gonna score it round by round. But yeah, they Katie is one of the greatest fighters I've ever seen. Now it's kind of funny how people are turning on her, trying to call her a dirty fighter for this fight. But it was an open
I
stance
didn't call her
fight.
a dirty fighter, but she employed some dirty tactics during this fight. She was leading with her head.
Well, no, she
Okay,
had to get that. She had to get that hoe up off her. I mean, come on, Big Dre. You know Amanda is a tough chick, and she was walking her down, trying to bully her. Man, Amanda will bully most girls, but Katie was doing whatever she could to make sure she wasn't getting pinned up against those ropes.
well,
So yeah, she was
Katie's
making it
also a
she was
different
making
fighter,
it uncomfortable for her, bro. She's extremely polished. Katie Taylor, one of the best fighters in the world, man. That's unquestioned.
I'd rather see. Um,
Amanda's a great fighter, though. I, I don't know. I don't think Alicia can stop Amanda. I was
I
just
think that'd be
joking.
a good fight. Oh, I'd like to see that
Amanda's tough. Yeah. I would like to see Alicia versus Amanda, but I don't. I just was seeing with all the counters that Katie was catching Amanda with one of those hooks or from one of those straight right hands from Alicia with that wobble or maybe hurt Amanda,
one. Amanda
because
didn't seem to be phased by most of the stuff that Katie was throwing
I'm
at her.
saying Katie ain't cracking. Like Katie looks strong. Katie look like she's really punching hard, but she's
Katie's
not,
bigger than
bro.
Amanda. Katie
Yeah,
is
she
so
is.
much bigger than Amanda.
Yeah, but that
Uh,
don't mean you punching harder. That's why people be talking about Devin and saying Devin is. I'm like, yeah, Devin could have a more weight than the next person, but that don't mean that he's cracking.
no, Devin is bigger than most, and he uses his size very well.
But
He
he's not. But he's not laying on people though. But Devin is a great boxer. Devin is his skills is being
Devin is a
diminished
very
and
good.
underrated.
I won't give him great, but he is a very very good boxer.
Yeah. I
See,
mean,
because
yeah. I mean,
he's not a
you
boxer to
don't.
the point
But you gotta say you don't know, and you can't say anybody else went under. He's the youngest undisputed in the four belt era. I mean, to do
where
that,
give Devin his accolades.
you know what I'm saying. I mean, you could say that, but you know what I'm saying. A lot of people ain't did that. Nobody else has done it.
Okay, fine, he's done that.
You know, you got to give him that. You got to give him that just. But
I
and just for even being in position and making the fights, taking the fights, and winning the fights. I mean, damn. I mean, come on,
I'm
bro.
I'm giving him his just due. Okay, yes, he found the shortcut and was able to take the shortcut, get get undisputed. He
But
became
Big Dre,
undisputed.
but Dre, you got to speak on
Wait
the
a minute, you
three
gotta
fight
let me
deal
finish.
though.
Let me finish. He became undisputed. He defended undisputed twice, and then he left the weight division. Am I correct? Did I say anything wrong?
But you
No,
downplaying
did
it,
I
Big
say
Dre. It's
anything wrong?
about the deal that he took. It's not.
Did I
It's not
say
only
anything wrong?
about.
Did I
Yeah, you
say
did.
anything wrong?
Yeah, you did.
He became undisputed. He defended undisputed twice. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Then,
but you leaving
wait a
out.
minute,
You
wait a minute.
leaving out a vital
And he
piece.
left the weight division. I didn't say anything wrong. I ain't lying nowhere. I'm giving him his just. He was an
I mean, how many
undisputed
times you
champion.
want him to defend undisputed? Ain't nobody else defending undisputed.
Okay,
He
but
did it twice. Only other person that did it that many times is Canelo.
okay. So he defended undisputed twice and left the weight division.
Yeah, wasn't nobody else to
When he
fight.
had two people, when he
He
had
ain't
two
had
people,
nobody else to fight.
what you mean he ain't had nobody else to fight?
He fought the Hall of Fame. He completed his contract. He fought the fights on his agreement. And then he I mean there was nobody else available to him.
Shakur was on his helmet like a big dog.
Shakur got an offer. He ain't want to fight.
Bob said Shakur didn't get an offer.
Bob full of shit because of course said he got a call about the fight, but they wasn't taking 25%.
Shakur said
That's what Shakur said. Shakur said, yeah, they
Shakur
called
said
me about the fight.
and
They
wanted to
called me
offer him
about the fight,
25.
but it was already made up essentially because they was like, nah, we not taking that. But
But you
yeah,
see,
they called me about it.
but Shakur,
But no,
Shakur,
that's how they got down. That's how they did Devin. That's how Bob and them. It was all coming from Top Rank. Devin wasn't making
but
a
you
fight with
see,
Shakur with nobody
they
else but Top Rank.
they,
So when Top Rank
they
gave Devin
signed a
a
contract.
25% offer,
They
that's what
signed
he
a con-
gave.
they signed a contract that if they had a presented that contract to the WBC would have disavowed that contract
That's not
because
true.
because
That's not true, Big Dre. Come on, stop it.
no,
Because you come to an agree because the fighters can come to an agreement before
right,
the sanctioning body gets involved. So if
right.
Shakur would have said,
Like I
"Do it," I
said,
take the
if
25%.
if
They would have
they
fought.
if they would have if Shakur had Shakur said he called the WBC. The WBC said the minimum is 30%. That's what the WBC said. It's in their rules.
Yeah,
It's
but that's
written.
just for one
It's
belt. So
written
that's
down.
why he got. That's why he
It's
fought for
written.
Bacon
Wait
versus
a
De
minute.
Los Santos.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. But it's in the rules. So
But
if
Big Dre, how many belts is on the line for undisputed?
all of them, but one sanctioning body said this rule says 30%.
Yeah, but you're not fighting for just the
This rule
WBC belt. You getting an
I,
opportunity for the Ring Magazine too. How much the Ring Magazine worth? You
but
becoming the
the
lineal champion.
WBC said
You get
30%.
lineal. Hold on, Big Dre. You get
But the
lineal
WBC said
championship. You
30%.
get the hold on. You get the lineal championship with one fight. How much is that worth?
It ain't worth nothing to me.
So you become the man of the
Wait
division,
a
and
minute,
that ain't
because the
worth
ring
nothing.
magazine,
Hold on. You mean to tell me
becoming the
you
lineal
become the
championship.
man of the division, and that ain't worth nothing?
Listen,
Come on, Big
when
Dre.
you,
The boy Duck,
I,
they don't
I'm,
want to fight.
I'm sorry. If you want the fight, make the fight. Make the
Yeah, but
fight.
what you saying
Pay
is
the
they
man
didn't
the
want to
money.
make the fight. They wanted their cake and to eat it
Pay the
too.
man the money.
Pay him
Just
what
because you
money?
took, just because you took a
Pay who
bad deal,
what
and
money though? Hold on. Pay who what
wait a
money?
minute, give him the percentage. Give him
Who?
the percentage he's asking for. He wasn't asking for
What is he
50%.
asking? He said 50-50.
He said he said the
He
WBC
said
says 30%.
50-50.
I'll
No,
do it
no,
for the
no, no, no.
30%.
No. He said he wanted 50-50.
Yeah,
And the
he wanted
WBC said
50-50.
no, what
But
we
he
can do is we can the mandatory split is 30. But
right,
we know that Fury got 80-20 for his Dillian White mandatory. So that's irrelevant because Fury petitioned. Devin wasn't petitioning to about no WBC mandatory. That was
Dylan
Shakur. Shakur should
Dylan
have. What
White
Shakur should have did is
Dylan White didn't go to the title
Shakur
spot.
should have called Devin and said, "Okay, I'll take whatever I need to take. Just stay here and let's make the fight happen. Let's make a big fight." And they would and worked it out behind the scenes with Devin.
I don't
But I
think
guess they really didn't want the fight
I don't think Devin nor Shakur wanted that fight that bad.
because
I
they
don't think
really
Devin
friends
nor
for real.
Shakur
They
wanted
really friends for real. But put Keyshawn had made Shakur kind of go out there like because Keyshawn is messy. So he wanted Shakur to kind of go out on Devin like that.
it.
But
Listen, but he won't go out there on Shakur like that.
who, Keyshawn?
Yeah,
Nah, that's his brother. You know that.
come on, man. We didn't
That's his
grow up in the
brother. He
same
ain't
house.
doing that.
We didn't grow
He
up in the same house. We didn't eat
ain't-
the same cereal, watch the same cartoons in the morning. Come on, man.
Hey, they didn't know each other. They went through Olympics together, so they got
Listen,
years in. You can't we
listen.
can't tell them what their relationship is. But my whole thing is, it's not
No,
about it's not
I can't
about
tell you what his
Shakur and
relationship is.
Keyshawn relationship. It's really ultimately coming down to the dudes that's holding the belts at 135. Is Tank going to unify the titles?
Well, Tank was trying to unify the titles. So he went out there, he talked to Loma, and they were in negotiations. And this came straight from the horse's mouth of Bob Arum. Okay? They were in negotiations. They were working stuff out. Okay? And then all of a sudden, Loma don't feel like it. I don't feel like fighting. I think I'm gonna take some time off. And yet the IBF have not stripped him yet. Okay?
Well, they're not going to.
They didn't strip every other champion out there.
Well, I mean, Lomachenko, he's a once in a generation, fighter.
He yeah, with three
They,
losses.
I mean, hey, listen, when
Listen,
you
all I'm
he
saying,
fought for
man.
his country. Two gold medals, three division champions, unified champion. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
and
decorated.
and when the war broke out in Ukraine, he went home to fight for to help fight the war effort. I
But
give him all of that. I give him all the
my whole thing is why do you want to see Tank go to the retirement home to pluck off Lomachenko?
wait a
Like
minute, wait a
why
minute,
what does that do for Tank?
wait a minute. It isn't Cash Crawford older than Lomachenko?
Hold on, we're not talking about pound for pound great chance call.
Isn't Cash Crawford older than Lomachenko? Isn't
Yeah.
Tyson isn't Tyson Fury older than Lomachenko?
Yeah, but
Or
you just said Loma got three losses.
isn't, isn't
You
older than
just said he got
Lomachenko?
three losses though. They don't got the wear and tear. They ain't got those losses that Loma got. So you want Tank to be the fourth man?
They're older.
You want Tank to be the fourth man to beat him?
Listen,
Come on, man. I
I,
Tank is a number one.
why are you making excuses for
Tank is a
Loma?
leader, not a follower.
What did wait a minute? Didn't Lomachenko just have a fight? He fought Cambosis, right?
That was a
He did.
while ago.
Wait a minute. He did in less than 10 rounds. Okay, what Devin couldn't do in 24.
Yeah, but Devin had already ruined
No,
them.
no,
You
no, no,
see,
no, no, no.
Devin ruined them.
See, we using the same standard.
No,
We
no, no. But
using
I'm
the
just
same
saying, we
standard.
seen we seen Maxie beat up on George. George was done after Devin.
I think George was
George,
done
George,
before
George,
Devin.
George had silks. George on silk sheets after Devin. Devin made George a multi time millionaire. George might even name one of his sons Devin.
I wouldn't blame him. I would not blame him. That's
Yeah,
right. You can't.
cause for him to take 25% or 20, him to get 3 million in them and George and his unit taking home over 10. I mean,
Hey,
that's generational wealth right there. So you can't for somebody to agree to do that with you. I mean, hats off. But like it's a give and take. It's a business. Like you said, Devin knew he was gonna beat up on George Kambosos. So
Right.
George got the money and Devin got the belts.
I'm gonna sell these belts and take.
It's a
I'm gonna
good
take an
it's a
L, but I
good
might as well
change.
get
It's a
paid.
good exchange.
If,
Even
I, if I'm
but
gonna
that's
take
what
an L, then I might as well get
but
paid
that's
for it, right?
what that's the same thing with Devin and Shakur. Like if you want Shakur already said Devin was gonna be weight drained at 135. So if you want me to fight you and be weight drained and probably not my best,
That's
if
the
that's what you
Devin. That's
want,
the
then
Devin blows back up to 165 pounds, man.
it's not Devin's fault that he had to wait for these ducking dudes to fight him. Like
Why
these
he got
dudes ran away.
Devin?
Well,
Devin
hold
been
on,
busy.
hold on. Devin was a
Devin been busy.
135. Devin was a
Devin been
130.
busy.